If Love and Gogi is wrong, be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Oh,
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not.
Wait.
Yeah.
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still on the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a smell, man. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof, like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side fly. Wish I could large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch it on YouTube with video for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, what they gonna do next?
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Hello, Leroy. Can you hear? Are you good?
I'm good.
All right.
Hello.
Is this a bit? Like every time the Knicks win, Vlad is in here? What are you guys? You saboteuring me here, frog boy?
Hey, let me just.
You just want to make it rub the salt in it? I already had a tough night with everybody jumping off a bridge with the lottery.
I got to tell you, even though we got to deal with Vlad, this is fun.
You had a fun petty watch night. Did you watch? Because you never do this. You texted last night at 12. Were you watching the game, or did you like get up for a pee, looked at your phone, saw the score, and laughed?
No. Here's what happened. I have to make tea time at 12 o'clock.
Okay.
For Sunday.
What do they like? Fill up quick?
No, that's how you do it online.
Oh, okay.
So you can start doing it at 12.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm up till 12:01. So I'm watching the game. And I'm like, I'm more than sure that Golden State didn't bring this man in here for 11 points to be outscored by Draymond Green.
Oof.
Like, come on, dude. Like, we had the same problem with Jimmy here.
9 shots last night.
What I would say about Jimmy all the time, don't you have to be more aware of the game and what's going on and when you need to take over?
For sure.
Like,
I don't think he can, though. I think he's cooked.
Okay.
I think he's cooked. From the recent injury, not just age. I think he's cooked from the back thing.
But we've seen a lot of this with Miami.
We've seen this, but it typically is like when he did seem like he had a sense for the moment, but I think he's cooked.
Yeah.
He did it for one,
he
did it for one game, but I don't think he can do it for a series right now. I think he could maybe have one, whatever they shoot up his back with to make him not feel that for like a game. But this is every other night. And yeah, last night, a -30 for Jimbo.
-30. A two-way player.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to look into the camera
Mm-hmm.
and apologize for Pat. To Pat and tell him you were wrong.
I'm not going to apologize to Pat.
You don't think you were wrong about Jimmy?
What was I wrong about?
Paying him additional year.
Well, you need to pick a lane here because you've either you've spent the entire last 4 months blaming me for ruining the franchise.
Yeah.
So did I ruin the franchise or did I save the franchise?
Oh, you got. I see what you did.
No. Which one is it?
Bro,
just pick one.
This is a crime.
I'll apologize.
This is a crime.
I'll apologize, but you got to pick one. Did I ruin the franchise or did I save the franchise? No, you're boxed in.
No,
you're boxed
I'm
in.
not boxed in.
You're boxed in.
No, I'm not boxed in.
You're boxed
I just have to pick.
You got to pick.
You've been boxed in.
I'm not boxed in.
Oh, you boxed in, man. But Leroy, you so boxed in, you can't even come up with words. When has Leroy toured? Big mouth Leroy never have something to come up
Because
with.
here's why
You got no rebuttal.
I have a rebuttal, but here's what I'm doing. I'm weighing the consequences of my answer.
Oh, or you could say you're just procrastinating time, just trying to
No.
Just shoot.
No. I believe.
Hmm?
So here's how it went. And let's be clear. Pat said no first to the extension. Then you went to Pat with the comments.
It's the same. It was within the same 6 minutes.
No. Pat said they weren't get extended him before
It was
that.
the same press conference.
Where no,
I was there.
but
He talks once a year.
he had already talked to Jimmy about not extending him.
You know, Pat doesn't talk. He only talks 2 times.
Yeah.
So
Leroy.
So
if he
you're
said
saying-
that,
You're not.
Hold on.
You're changing events.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
Okay, go.
The same press conference where he told him he wasn't paying him, even though he didn't have a direct conversation with us. We're not paying him. As he said this past week, he said, softly, I said no. But that same press conference was the same press conference with keep your mouth shut. It was the same presser. Which my entire time, my point has been, well, the bigger issue has been the money. You said, no, you ruined the franchise. You pushed it over the edge because it burned a bridge. So I will gladly apologize to Pat Riley if you admit I saved the franchise.
He got you boxed.
You know what?
You know what you
Damn.
look like right now? You look like Austin Powers in that golf cart.
Yeah.
Maybe this
Going
will
back and forth.
well, maybe this will make you feel some way, one way or another. You know, you tell me.
What will fix it? What do you want to see happen to fix it?
What do I want to see happen? I want to see me get my joy back from playing basketball. And wherever that may be, we'll find out here pretty soon. But I want to get my joy back. I'm happy here, off the court. But I want to be back to somewhat dominant. I want to hoop. And I want to help this team win. Right now, I'm not doing that.
Can you get your joy back here on the court?
Probably not.
Well, he wasn't dominant last night
Somewhat dominant. He said somewhat.
in a negative way.
You know what the thing is though? Like I'm like tuning in because I want to grief listen today. I want to listen to 95.7 The Game or whatever the hell they're called. They're a sister station.
Oh my goodness.
And
hey, they're on Vlad. They're on another one.
dude,
They're on the heater.
they are. But they're not mad enough at him. Like I want them. They're more mad at Pods than they are at Jimmy.
Odds.
I'm like I want them mad at Jimmy. I want them furious with him, but they're not. They're more in the place where they're mad at whatever the hell else is going on. But
I have to make a decision.
you do have to make a decision. You have to make a decision.
Dribble into the key. Jump stop.
Have decided
Mm-hmm.
that if I'm gonna be wrong, your ass is gonna be wrong too.
What?
You ruined the franchise.
What do you mean?
Hey, Vlad, I'd rather take somebody down with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving. You can't go scot-free out of this.
I'm not going dolo. I'm going down. Somebody's coming down.
Somebody coming down with me. So you ruined the franchise. That's what I'm
If
doing.
you say so.
I will say this though. Watching that press conference,
Mhm.
Leroy, did you notice there was a little pickup when Pat saw you ask the question? It's as if Pat knows you're the guy that's gonna ask the question or make a statement that's gonna let him go full Godfather mode.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, Vlad.
because when you asked that question, he was like, "Yeah," he was looking for, like he was very alert,
Mhm.
very attentive.
Yes.
Like he was like, "Oh, my guy, my spark plug. There you are." Yeah,
Vlad, it's like
ask that question.
it's like banging on the door for 10 minutes and all of a sudden you hear it unlock.
yeah,
Right? Oh, somebody's there.
Pat Riley looks at me as kin, like just to light the fire.
yeah, bro. Get a cauldron.
Hey, so anyway, so I'm watching this game. And I'm like, I bet you they're going to torch him tomorrow because we've had the same problem with Jimmy here. And I do a show with a guy who gets excited about the 2 or 3 40-point games during the course of a year.
I mean,
Right?
it is the playoffs when he goes crazy. So
Yeah, but he hasn't And there was nothing that happened during this season that would lead you to believe that he was going to.
I mean, he had a really good regular season with the Warriors. Like they went from an under 500 team to the play-in. But the play-in was it was a good West.
Right.
To be fair.
I got it. The records were a lot.
Be fair, but no, like look. Yes, I think he's cooked. I think this is where Pat's right. Okay. They had a worry, not only because he was a pain in the ass, which he was, but I do think there was a basketball worry about him too, because Jimmy plays a style that is bruising. And he gets a lot of his offense from free throws. He's not necessarily a foul baiter.
He hasn't been double digit free throws.
Yeah, he's not necessarily a foul baiter. Like he likes to go at the rim, and that's taxing. And that's something that you worry about how that ages. And yeah, he doesn't like doing it as much, because we were making fun of the radio host on 97, whatever the hell called in San Francisco, about him getting to contact. Yeah, when he sees a big body in the paint, he doesn't like running into it as much anymore. And if he's not going to shoot threes, which is something that also usually picks up for him in the playoffs, well, then where do you get the offense from? So,
but all these things you're becoming aware of now, they've always been there.
They haven't always been there, though. Like,
no, but you can see signs of it.
You can see signs of it. You can see subtle decline, and that's that I think is where the Heat were fair. I think where the Heat still can't get off scot-free, though, is, again, if you had these concerns,
should have did it in the summer.
You should have still done it in the summer.
And you probably could have got something.
Maybe. It's not even about getting something. It's like
not having him.
It was an arrogance of, or a mislead of, hey, he's going to be fine with all of this. And like, I'm sorry, dude, but if you have somebody who all of a sudden after everything comes out, and this is, I'm not going to let the Heat off on this. All of a sudden after he's gone, we had a problem with this. We had a problem with that. Well, if you had all this stuff for 5 years, that was an issue.
You should have.
And you didn't
off season.
And you were worried about how he was going to age as a basketball player. Then get the hell off the contract. Then move on.
Yeah.
Then move on.
Yeah.
So they still have. I get it. He was unprofessional. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He is more of the blame on it. But that organization sat there thinking, it'll be fine, because they took his agent. His tweeting agent's word for it.
That's
even
what
his.
you did.
I knew that he was.
No, don't say you knew now.
I knew that he was playing games
now.
with Shams.
No, Tobin.
We fought about this all
I'm
summer.
the one that told you, because everybody thought you were ripping Shams. You thought Shams was just making things up, trying to replace what's his name? Woj. And Shams, let me tell you, you know who the real MVP of the 2024-25 season is?
Who?
Shams.
Really?
Yes. Everything Shams said, everything he's reported has been true this year.
But he was just a puppet.
Puppet for what?
For Birdie Lee.
But he said, and I told you that this was all WWE, but you were saying, no. These are all lies. They're making things up. And I'm like, nah, Buddy Lee's playing you. They're WWEing you right now. And that's what exactly happened.
WWE with Mickey Harrison, too, because Mickey Harrison's out here tweeting them, retweeting
Remember?
them.
Yeah, it was nasty work going on.
Very nasty work, Vlad. Anyway. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory, like the Tucson, Scion, Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. The Panthers have a little practice action and fly out to Toronto. Wednesday, Game 5 against the Maple Leafs. Series tied at 2 apiece. The Marlins, they lost to the Cubs 5-2. 3-11 since I tried to back off Peter Bendix on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good team.
I mean,
not a good team. Cute start. They're back to earth. I think, Leroy, we can officially declare them back to earth. Welcome back, Marlins. Thank you for the first 2 weeks of the season. That's what you gave us.
Oh, my God, Sir John.
What do you say?
Thursday's show is the biggest show of the year. That's a win. That's a loss. Spirit Leroy needs to show up on time.
Wait.
Is it tonight? Isn't tomorrow Wednesday? Isn't tomorrow that's a win, that's a loss? Because I believe doesn't the schedule come out tonight?
For who?
NFL.
NFL's Wednesday night.
Oh, I thought it was Tuesday night.
No, it's Thursday. So he's right. That's a win, that's a loss. It's Thursday.
I saw that
I'm out.
They will play the Dolphins will play the Commanders in Spain.
Yeah.
You know what I think is stupid though? Like I don't mind leaking on Twitter. I don't really, other than like the opening game,
You don't really care about.
I don't understand why people find the need to. Well, in week 7, the Dolphins just release it all at once, unless there's like a monster that's weird.
Maybe trying to get the early travel
by 48 hours.
It's
I don't know. I don't like that.
And also, I think
would I go to
Spain?
Yeah.
I mean, they did update. They upgraded that stadium where Real Madrid plays.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the best stadiums
in the world.
Yeah.
You got like a bullfight that's going on at halftime.
They don't do bullfights there.
I think it's the Bernabeu.
They don't do bullfights there.
In Spain?
No, in that stadium, it's too big. A bullfighting arena is tiny, like the amphitheater.
Yeah, Real Madrid's not letting.
Did you just call it a theater?
The what?
It's very fancy of you. I'm not judging. Just not typically your style.
That's what I call it.
Amphitheater.
I thought it was amphitheater.
Okay.
Point for.
I've loved the start of today's show.
Right, because it's been petty.
It's been fun. We're having fun.
Vlad,
it's been
petty. I never text at night.
Late, dude.
Oh, I came in hot.
Why were you hot?
Cause Jimmy.
He's petty watching Jimmy like he's never petty watched before.
Yeah.
And
because I think to be honest with you, I think Pat was right for not giving him the money, because there's two things you can't pay a guy for, and that's decline and availability. He hit them both, and Pat was like, and I was mad because we're talking about an extension 2 years from now. We ain't talking about this year. We ain't talking about next year. We're talking about 2 years from now. Look at Jimmy play basketball now. What that's going to look like when he makes $60 million. You see what I'm saying? And I'm mad because Jimmy said when the season started, I'm just going to come and ball out. Then mysteriously, he ain't find his joy because he wasn't getting paid in 2027.
Don't forget he faked an illness.
Faked an illness. One-legged three.
Yeah, that was after faking the illness.
Like, yeah, man.
While trying to interrogate the Heat by playing dominoes while they're on the road trip.
Right. So, like, yeah.
But he got what he wanted. He got his money. That's what he wanted. He played it like he thought he was only going to find one sucker, and it was Phoenix, and he ended up finding another one. And by the way, the owner's on the record saying it was worth every freaking penny.
Now, oh no, he
we'll
going. Hey,
we'll see how it feels in a couple of years.
Not a couple of years. Not a couple of years, because it'll be next year. Because here's what they're going to say to justify this, right? Which is a
he's under contract next year anyway.
Which is a bigger point.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a bigger point. They're going to say, well, Jimmy was hamstrung without Steph.
Which is true.
How the hell you think we felt?
Yeah, but
I don't really understand how that's Jimmy's fault, though.
Yeah,
like that's
I'm not saying it's Jimmy's fault. But even before this game, Jimmy was talking about what he needed to do. All right, Steph not here. We got to hold the fort down till he gets back.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Do you give any reprieve that
you can't get outscored by Draymond Green, dude?
Understood, but do you give any reprieve that he fell on his back and he's pretty much playing injured too?
I mean, how many times are we gonna say that? Like, I have a whole year.
He gets hurt. I mean, like that is
Right.
part of the Jimmy Butler thing.
But
Typically, he's a first half hurt guy. He's not usually a playoff guy. In the last 2 playoffs, he's gotten hurt. He blew out his sprained his MCL.
Put it this way,
and he has his tailbone messed up. Or
Jimmy had all of the opportunity in the world to prove all the naysayers wrong and prove Pat Riley wrong. And it's almost like he just looked at it as, I got my money, I'm good.
Well, I think the thing is that I think the Warriors standard is a lot lower too right now, because I think basically they brought Jimmy in just to make Steph feel like he had a chance. And I think that they did. They won a series. They went from an afterthought, Steph looking depressed, to they got to compete.
Right.
Because like look, he's at a different point. You just want to do right by your legend. You just want to make it feel like he's got a shot. So I think
that basically was all that was available.
You know, like the Heat aren't at that point. Like they don't have like the gravy train legend right now. Like that's not the same place either.
Who does though? You know what I mean? There's probably only
just
8
him
to
and
10
LeBron.
teams. There's only 8 to 10 teams that have that dude.
No, but not even just that dude, but that dude that you're playing for championships, but like, dude, he's won 4 championships.
Right.
It's like him and LeBron. That's basically the list.
Right.
Like that's it right now.
I got you.
You know, we'll take a break. More to come here on the show. Back after this.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed
Welcome back, Tobin and Leroy. Hey, country artist Lee Bryce is coming to the War Memorial Auditorium in Fort Lauderdale in September, and we got your chance to win tickets. Keep on listening to our show for details on how you can win. It's a Live Nation show. Sports world up in arms last night. We saw a crime. Blatant rigging of the NBA draft lottery. It's blatant.
You saw my text to you, right?
You're spot on, Vlad. It's Vince McMahon stuff. I what do you want me to do with that, Leroy? You know, because obviously Heat fans are furious because that was their spot if they didn't make the playoffs. So there's a lot of Heat fans who are mad at the Mavericks winning. But I'm here to tell you, Heat fans, not that you don't have a right to be mad for, you know, was this worth losing a lottery pick? I know there are other ramifications because of, you know, you'd have to unprotect a couple picks, all that type of stuff. But I'm here to tell you right now, this thing was rigged for the Mavericks. We weren't getting Cooper Flag. I don't know what to tell you. Everybody has said, and they were out in front of this, that the Luka trade didn't smell right the entire time. The whole conversation this year, ratings, got to fix the ratings. How do they do that? You send Luka to LA with LeBron, and all you got to do, Nico Harrison, hey, you don't want to pay Luka anyway. So don't worry about it. We're going to deliver you a new hope in Cooper Flag. Go get the guy you want. You love Anthony A. Davis anyway. All you got to do is just worry about people being mad for a couple months, and you're going to be all good, baby.
Hey.
He's right.
I'm telling you, Leroy.
Cooper Flag ain't Luka.
He may not be Luka.
But he's American, and they love their Americans in Texas.
That's true. But also, if you did have, like, if you wanted to talk something into it, and then, like, the owner, right? This owner, this new guy, he doesn't seem like he's that knowledgeable about the NBA, right? New rich guy. Also, another thing they got rid of is they neutered Mark Cuban. They basically got him out of the league.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a patsy now. Just sits by,
mumbles,
just mumble. Yeah. And now all of a sudden, oh my God, crazy. The franchise has been attacked for being so stupid, doing something nobody can even fathom. Whew, poof.
David Stern's happy.
Somebody just said this. The Mavs had Brunson and failed. They had Luka and failed. So
So
maybe it's the organization.
No, man. This is WWE.
They
send Brunson to New York, big market. Send Luka to LA, big market. We'll give you the number 1 pick. It happens all the time.
Dude, it does happen all the time.
Cleveland, you lost LeBron, we'll give you Kyrie. Hell, we'll give you freaking Anthony Bennett. Hell, we'll give you every opportunity.
Every time there's a hometown kid too, like, oh yeah, LeBron goes to Ohio, Derrick Rose goes to Chicago.
And anytime you trade a big star to the Lakers, you're gonna get the number 1 pick after.
Yep.
Anthony Davis, you got Zion.
Yep. Even before that, you know, you got once the Pelicans got sold, boom, number 1 pick. You got Anthony Davis. Everybody, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
David Stern's smiling in heaven right now.
It's wrestling. It's wrestling. I understand the Heat fan being mad. I get it. I'm not saying you don't have a right to be mad. I'm just telling you right now, if the Miami Heat were in that exact same position, the Philadelphia 76ers would have gotten the number 1 overall pick. Like, we weren't getting that pick.
Tobin, that's what I was upset about. It was like the teams that did terrible last season, the teams that were horrible got
nothing.
No.
Oh, you mean like the disaster teams?
The disaster teams,
like
Phillies.
Philly
and Dallas. Like
they got rewarded for.
They got rewarded.
That's the thing that I have with that too, Vlad, because everybody has the take today. This is great because this prevents tanking. Well, first of all, those teams basically did tank. Philly did tank. Once everything unraveled for them, it's not like it's not like they didn't tank.
So they all under.
Yeah, they made bad moves and they tanked so they could keep their pick. So I don't know what anybody's talking about. You're sitting here and you're acting like what they did is different to Utah. It's not. But look, give me the defense for it not being wrestling. Give it to me. I'd love to know. They have a track record of this. It's just the Luka trade the entire time, Leroy. What have we said? It's a little fishy. It's a little fishy. Oh, hey, deliver Luka. LeBron's, he's going to be 1 more year, 2 more year. we need our next Lakers. The Lakers always get the guy. They always do. How? They're not a good organization. Woo! Ass backwards. So?
I mean, they ended up with Kobe. Kobe wasn't a top 10 pick.
They traded for Kobe.
They traded
with the Hornets. Vladdy.
They traded for Kobe, and they had Shaq.
Yeah,
they got Shaq from Orlando.
Listen, man, when they went to big cities to have their stars, they're gonna make sure the big cities,
especially the Lakers, because the Lakers, the only team. This is the thing with the Lakers. Maybe a little of the Knicks, but mostly the Lakers. They're the only team that really gets fall coverage.
Then how did Milwaukee end up with Dame?
How did they end up with Dame? I mean, they had a trade piece for him.
No, but I'm just saying.
To pair him with Giannis.
And he's Dame was always a small market superstar. Portland's small market.
And also that was more of a petty thing from the
Spurs getting number 2 is nothing
from the agent.
I mean, I've never seen the Spurs draft outside the top 5, to be honest with you.
Well, now they got the ammo to go after Giannis.
They do. All those teams do, really.
So how far down the draft would you go? Top 5? Would you trade for Giannis and pieces?
I mean, it depends what team. I think those 3 teams are unique because they all basically have all-stars already.
Right.
So it's not like Utah trading for Giannis.
Right.
Look at the Jazz got him. They wanted the flying intangibles, Mr. Flag. They just want to keep him. But look, I don't know. I get it. I get the Heat fan who's pissed, but that wasn't going to happen for us. You guys are watching Hocus Pocus. It's all a ruse.
Is the Miami Heat have never had the number 1 pick? Right?
Never.
Are they the only franchises never had?
No, I think 4 others haven't. I think Dallas was one of them. I don't think they've ever won the lottery.
Got 2.
Amazing, huh?
2 and drafted a generational player, but wasn't in the right generation.
Yeah, but he was number 1.
He was 2. I said we got 2.
Oh! I thought you meant the Heat. I thought you meant the Mavericks.
Talking about Be-Easy?
Yeah. He was like
one of the greatest.
Another one that was
because you remember when Lamar Odom came out and he went to Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was amazed at how tall and how big he was and his ability to handle the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the first guy with that size playing point guard, other than Magic, but Magic is just unique.
Penny was that size.
Penny, yeah. What Penny, 6'7", 6'8"?
6'7", 6'8", Steve Smith.
Yeah.
6'7", 6'8".
But Steve Smith was a scorer.
I mean, so was Penny. I mean, those guys was,
Yeah.
I mean, you're 6'7", 6'8", you're gonna score. You're looking down at people.
Lamar was what, 6'10"?
Lamar was 6'10", doing that to me in high school.
Man.
Christ the King.
Take a break. Cats back at it tonight or tomorrow night, excuse me.
Hey!
What?
That's with my emotions.
I'm sorry.
I
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We'll hear a little bit from Paul Maurice. Road to repeat coming up next.
The Panthers are prepping for game.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Let's get to the road to repeat. Brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers. I think that might be the best one.
Cherry Cola?
Cherry Cola?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think so.
It's good.
Cherry Cola, although they're starting to get a nice little roster.
Yeah.
Because I got a starting five.
Strong.
I got a starting five. Me and you have two different swingmen, but I go Cherry Cola.
No. Sounded weird.
Cherry Cola, Playa Vibe. I go Galaxy Vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your franchise player?
If I had to pick a franchise player, I'm going Cherry Cola, but Playa Vibe is pushing it.
Is that your
But Playa Vibe make me want to go draft somebody else. It made me want to go draft some rum.
Yeah.
So I got to keep it.
It's like the Zion Williamson of
Playa Vibe is a little overweight, but it got game. I can't have Playa Vibe near Astron.
Yo, he said Playa Vibe makes him want to get another player.
It's true. The Panthers will get back on the ice today at the practice rink, and then they'll head on out to Toronto. Game 5 tomorrow.
I can't wait. This is
the media was trying to stir it up with Paul Maurice yesterday.
too cool for that.
And he was asked about Craig Berube, Toronto Maple Leafs coach, thoughts on the Max Domi hit, which got fined. Apparently, he said, "Oh, well, I thought what Kulikov did was worse." Here's Paul Maurice.
Paul Berube was asked about the Domi play, and he said that he felt the Kulikov elbow at Marner was 10 times worse. What do you make of that? Is that the normal kind of politic you'll see in a series with coaches and the officials, or did Kulikov get away with one?
I don't care. Puck's going to drop. I mean, everybody has an opinion. Mine right now is it's the day after a game, but 2 days away from our next. I don't really have anything for you. Well, it's fine.
I love that, man. I love that, man.
I'm telling you.
I really love it.
Okay.
I really loved his attitude.
I mean, you know what? He does a lot of the stuff that Bill Belichick does, but with more
Canadian
flair.
With Canadian,
not more flair, but
with
it's not in your face.
Oh, it's in your face.
But it's not. You know what I mean? How Belichick would do stuff like he would just look at you like on Cincinnati, right? But when Paul says it's like,
I think because Paul's giving us a little bit of his personality. So when he kind of does it already, you're kind of like, is he serious?
Charisma.
Yeah. Is he serious? Or is he
right.
is he just pulling our leg? You know what I mean? Is he just playing
because
along?
I will tell you, Paul Maurice is closer to who he is off the ice or outside of these. Whereas Bill Belichick is a different dude. And I try to tell you, a different.
I would say the difference between them is I think like Bill Belichick just he does the media the way that he does it, but he really doesn't have time for the media. I think Paul Maurice does a beautiful job of like knowing when to pull. He can play the media like a fiddle. Like he knows how to like play the game.
And you know.
I love that.
He plays the media, you play Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, I had a time on Twitter yesterday. I had such a good time.
We got our resident guy coming on, Vlad. He's like, Tobin, you got him last night, bro. You got him.
It's just too easy. It's just toying with. It's just too easy. Like people just think like they got me because I can just make an emotional rant on Twitter, and they're like, he's crashing out. I'm sitting here laughing.
Literally, he could have made it every hour. He could have had a YouTube.
And
video.
people also ask me that about you. How have you not choked Tobin out? I'm like, I don't know.
I have a rant on Twitter yesterday that's up to 159 retweets, 1,100 likes, and it's got 113,000 views of people just like, what's going on with him? Nothing. I'm just laughing at everybody. What can I say on Twitter to just stir it up? Entertains me. I like it. People really think you're getting emotional. It's hilarious. Oh my God, we got him.
Ooh, look at Perk. Perk got that look that I've had after Heat games.
But he's on First Take right now.
Yeah.
Did you expect more from Jimmy Butler without
Watch
Steph?
his face.
I think they're going in on Jimmy right now.
Watch his face. Look. Perk get ready to explode.
What's Udonis going to say?
Oh, what's Udonis going to
say?
You know he Team Heat.
Of course.
Team Heat? What do you mean? Of course he's Team Heat. The man
is literally a vice president.
I meant Team Pat. Like
of course.
I meant Team Pat.
Well, I believe, what was his term afterwards? He says, look, it's good for Jimmy right now. He says, it's like drinking whiskey. You're going to be in that good feeling phase, but then catch up with you.
No, but pretty soon you're going to need some,
Here's more from Paul Maurice, because Berube apparently also said that he feels the Leafs have been more physical this series.
Berube said he felt his team was more physical, the more physical team in the last game.
Okay.
That guy's hockey Tobin.
Is that an area, like, first of all, do you see it that way? Is that an area where you guys can be even better in the next game?
I didn't notice it. If you would, this is not directed at you, but if you've watched the playoff games that we've played over the last 2 or 3 years, the two Boston series were the two most physical series I have ever seen in my life, and nothing that we have played, which includes our team, compares to those two series. So I didn't come off the bench going, oh, that was a game 2 in the Tampa series. It was nasty. I didn't leave the bench last night feeling that was exceptionally physical or under physical on our part. It wasn't a piece of the game that I was processing.
Wow.
Did Paul Maurice just call the Toronto Maple Leafs SAWFT?
Sure did. Yeah, he sure did. Because he's like, they thought that was physical.
Daysoft said Tobin is Twitter Lord Varys.
Point for.
What's his name? Littlefinger?
Littlefinger.
Yeah.
It was so much fun yesterday.
Oh, dude. See, I'm glad. You know what, Vlad? I'm kind of glad he did that last night. That's less I got to deal with. Because, if it didn't work on Twitter, he was coming in here.
Oh, you would know. Look, everybody was going to be hot. Everybody was going to come in hot. But if you really looked at it, last night for Heat fans was a great night. Jimmy choked. 9 points in a must-win game.
9 shots.
Oh, 9 shots.
14 points.
I'm sorry, 9 shots, but 14 points in a must-win game.
But here's my thing.
And they weren't they leading at the half? They were up by 2.
Didn't it was after the Ant. Didn't Ant hit a
buzzer
beater?
Yeah, Ant hit like a buzzer beater, but they were up by 2.
And then Ant went absolutely crazy.
Then he went Ant-Man.
But normally what would happen in that situation is Jimmy would say, I got Ant. Let me slow this down.
But what was funny yesterday, if you watched that game, though, you could tell like the Warriors are trying to get him the ball for him to be, Jim VP.
Yeah,
and he's like passing it, and it's like even Rudy Gobert got a steal on Jimmy. It was like, oh, this is not good.
Well, the one thing
all I needed to see was that at one point during the game, Draymond Green was the leading scorer. If Draymond Green is your leading scorer, you are not winning a basketball game.
I think the thing that's fair about Jimmy, and I do love Jimmy. I don't love him as much now, but when I really did love the way he played, because I thought he was a fascinating player. I get it. He's a frustrating player at times, but man, he did feel like he had an ability to rise to moments. But I think the thing that disappointed me about him going over there, he just seemed a little too happy being the B. Like,
right.
When he was here, yeah, I get it. You probably maybe you can't win a championship with Jimmy, but he thought he was. Like that delusion from him was something that I really could get behind.
Can I just say this though? Sometimes you make somebody something that they're not. And I go, remember Richardson's? Was it Richardson?
Jay Rich.
Jay Rich.
Yeah,
when they tried to make Jay Rich a number 1.
They tried.
Right.
He didn't know where
he
didn't know where the sideline was.
Just because
you always bring that up.
Just because you are the biggest star on the team doesn't mean necessarily you're the number 1. And the Heat made Jimmy a number one,
Mm-hmm.
right? But when they make you a number one and you accept all that and you go out and ball like you're a number one, you can't get mad when you don't want to be a number one no more. And so when he went to the Warriors, it's like he almost said, I'm glad I'm not the number one no more. I could chill.
Yeah, like I read a quote from him. I think it was The Athletic interviewed him. I can't remember the exact publication, but he read something like, I'll get the exact quote, but it was something to the effect of, I'm glad because it's the Steph show. I can just ball, go drink my coffee and be left the hell alone. And I was like, I guess that's what he wants. You know, like
it's the old. The old don't like to be bothered when they get old. They just want to be left alone, drink their coffee, and read their newspaper.
But the
he's
problem
3 years
is
younger than Steph.
But the problem
like
is
Steph doesn't do that. You know,
Steph doesn't do that. But
Hold on.
here's the problem.
You know, he
right?
pays for tips.
Here, think about this. When you're a number one, you don't have to say it. Everybody else say it. You just go and play, right? Sometimes when people make you a number one and then you call yourself a number one, you then put that pressure on yourself. And then when you can't do it, you start looking for reasons as to why. And I think, to your point, when Jimmy started getting a little wear and tear on his body and everybody's looking at him to be Jim VP, he's like, I need help. But pay me.
Pump fake, pump fake, pump fake, pivot.
Can't have it both ways.
We'll take a break here on the show. When we come back, we will get into a little bit of the Miami Dolphins. As I don't know if you guys saw this column by Omar Kelly, but some very interesting stuff on where the Dolphins are standing with Mike McDaniel right now. So we'll get to some of that, and also the rookies at their rookie camp. Back after this.
It's time for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM.
Let's do 4.
Take you up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to our headlines here, which are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory. The Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. If you guys missed it last night, the Dallas Mavericks won the NBA draft lottery with a 1.8% chance. See that video of Nico Harrison finding out in his little room? He did like a little running out of the chair.
Yeah. So, 5 years. What the last time they had 4? But one was Jimmy. And your boy, Jimmy, Goran, Bam, and Tyler.
So it was in Boston. Boston series?
Indiana.
What are you talking about?
The last time the Miami Heat, because the Knicks had 4 20-point scorers.
Oh, you talking about last night's game? The last time the Heat had 4
The last
20-point
time
games?
the Heat had 4 20-point.
Was the bubble?
Bubble. Pacers. I miss Gogi. Prime Gogi. What a stud. What a stud. Hey, bro, did you see what happened to your boy?
Who?
Mason Graham?
No.
Blowing chunks all over the place at rookie camp? Oof.
The intangibles like to do that. They wear it as a badge of honor.
Did you see that, Vlad?
No, I don't.
They wear it as a badge of honor.
I don't want to even show this picture.
He puked?
Dude.
It wasn't even hot. It's not even hot down here.
Where was he?
What's gonna happen when it's
I'm
like
assuming
July?
Ohio? Where do they do spring rookie camp?
It's a regular. They do
Come on,
do
take a look at
everything
this
at
picture.
their
Come here,
facility.
take a look. I'm gonna throw this out. It's too gross to put on. It's too gross to put on our webcam. It's brutal, right?
Dude, what did he have? Like
What color was it?
It was like it's
Yellow?
like a yellowish green.
Ooh, that means he was drinking yellow Gatorade. a lot.
According to Stefanski, he
Lemon
said that
lime.
he ate too much in the restaurant in the cafeteria. I don't know if he's joking or not, but
yeah, that happened. I never, dude.
ugh.
Let me tell you, I could not eat. Like I would eat something at halftime, but keep in mind we would eat breakfast at like 7, and halftime was at like 1:30. That's a long time to be burning calories.
Wait a minute, you go 6 hours without putting no calories in you? You?
No, because listen, you eat breakfast,
I get that.
then you go to the stadium,
Oh, okay. You
Right?
okay.
and then you have pregame, and then at halftime I would try to eat. I would eat a hamburger or something.
You would eat a hamburger at halftime, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, you did try to eat a hot dog before. so-
Yeah.
I mean, he's a biggin, right? Like Mason Graham's probably throwing him down. What was he, 330?
He's like 300. 300.
Oh yeah, well, Kenny G is a big boy.
Kenny G's a big boy. He's built, he's built like JJ Watt.
Maybe they thought that he was. Maybe he thought they weren't gonna run that much.
Let me tell you something. I remember we had barbecue. And yeah, I was still a little nervous because I was young, so I didn't go hard at it. The old guys would go at it. They were eating all kinds of stuff. They just make the young guys do practice.
That's something. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but Omar Kelly wrote a very interesting column on Mike McDaniel that had some very interesting stuff from sources.
What did he say?
Well, this is some of the stuff.
Give us the rundown.
Got some quotes from some players, some execs, basically on Mike McDaniel's handling of things, Vlad. This is in the Miami Herald if you guys want to check it out. Omar was also on with Joe Rose today to talk about it a little bit if you want to check out Joe's podcast. But it said, first thing up, this is the quote. It says, the Miami Country Club, one NFL exec said this spring, referring to the Dolphins' latest culture versus post-Brian Flores era. They went from the prison warden to the substitute teacher. Another quote in here says that Mike would rather sell you a dream than tell you the truth. One player who spent multiple seasons with McDaniel said of the 42-year-old head coach. He said, another player, one prominent player said, quote, they don't want people to compete. We need competition. That's why we're a front-running team. When we get punched in the mouth, we don't fight back. Yeesh. All right. According to multiple sources, Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill's antics and behavior contributed to two former Dolphins greats, Wes Welker and Sam Madison, losing their jobs as assistants on McDaniel's staff. The Dolphins struggle to hold both stars accountable. I'm told it polluted the locker room because others started following the lead, showing up late for film and study sessions and practices. The fines that McDaniel penalized them weren't enough. It's part of the reason why the Dolphins and Ramsey are mutually parting ways once June 1st arrives, because that's when a Ramsey trade would create $9.8 million in cap space.
Here's what I would say. All that, when you see the product on Sunday, looks true. But I would say this. Remember how crazy we thought Manton Campbell was for coming in with that attitude?
Yes.
Right? I would say this. The best football that I've ever played in all my life always came with a little bit of fear of the ramifications of not only letting my team down, but losing my job because of the coach wanting things done a certain way. And they all did it different ways. Bill Belichick was pay attention to details. I mean, to the step. You had to know what you were doing. Very detailed oriented. My college coach was a tyrant. When I went to Minnesota, I only heard the man yell twice.
Who'd you have in Carolina?
He was actually one of the creators of the zone blitz.
Capers?
He was in Pittsburgh. Dom Capers.
Yeah. Oh, he had that. Did he have that hair thing going on when he was with them?
Look, yeah.
Remember that Dom Capers hair, Vlad?
But
you mean a hilltopper?
Oh, yeah, dude.
But I would say there has to be a certain way you have to handle things. Now, every team that I've ever played for has had these words. When you go into that room the first night of camp, the coach would say, I don't give a damn how much money you make. You're on this team now. That's what you deal with in the offseason. That's what you deal. But right now, you're a teammate. And you're going to be required to handle yourself a certain way. The money doesn't make you this. The money doesn't make you that. The money only makes you a member of this team. And so I'm going to treat you as a member of this team, not as a highly paid employee. And everybody bought into that. You accept that. It was hard sometimes. Bill Belichick killed us. And then when you earned it, he would soften up a little bit and get you ready. But I remember practicing in pads the day before a preseason game.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's going to probably be something that will be a little less, right? Because you figure that was a big, I mean, like the big influence on a lot of that did have to do with the fact that their left tackle couldn't practice. And I'm not, and most people say Teron Armstead was a great character guy, but like, if you do it for one guy, doesn't it like it feels like it has to trickle for other stars like that?
Because everybody knows his situation. His situation got nothing to do with your situation, right? Now, I will say this: from all the things that I've heard, you don't have to worry about Tyreek on the football field, on the practice field, right?
Yeah, but meetings and showing up for film.
So what I would say is this: what Mike has to do this year will be harder than when he had to do when he became the coach, because he has to change the attitude and the mentality of his team that he helped create. And that becomes more difficult because you have to do it in a way where the players still take you seriously. And it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to be a certain way for a long period of time and then say, okay, I got to be something different. It's easier to ease up than it is to toughen up.
I think the other thing that too is you have to wonder what part, because he is so synonymous with Tua and like fixing Tua and having everything be about the rehabilitation of him and his. When Tua got hurt last year, you got to wonder how like things kind of frayed apart for the team, right? Because it's like you were going through the situation of like, okay, no, Skylar's going to be ready. Very clearly wasn't ready, and then you had to have Tim Boyle. It's like, oof.
Well, but when you're saying a backup quarterback will be ready, you're guessing.
Yeah, you are, but he is a guy that's been around the team a while, right?
That doesn't mean anything.
But if he looks that bad, doesn't that fall? Like, aren't the players going to look at the coach being like, "You thought this was going to be good enough"?
I think anytime a coach puts a player in the game that is no good, then
I guess what I'm saying
it's no
is
different than a player making a mistake.
I guess what I'm saying from Mike is like, okay, Tyreek Hill, that's going to come with some baggage of being a star player. It's not like the most original thing in the world. But Tyreek Hill's had a lot of success under Mike McDaniel. Jalen Ramsey seemed like him and Mike McDaniel were pretty cool when he got here. I know that he didn't love the Vic Fangio thing. I don't know if him not being able to nut up and tell Vic Fangio to go easy on Jalen Ramsey, even though Vic's obviously a champion now, looks fantastic. If that did that ruin the relationship with Jalen Ramsey? Because it seemed like that was all good, but this whole Tua being out in the middle of the year and missing 6 games again, and knowing that, hey, Mike's always going to be attached to that guy. Did that do you think that that caused something here? Or this was going to be something that's always there because he's so friendly?
I think here's what coaches make mistakes on. Stop giving a damn what the players think. And I say that from the perspective of building a culture, right? You have to have some level of authority that you can go to in moments like this. And if you've always been that guy to ask all the opinions of guys, then at some point you're going to ask the wrong guy and they're not going to respect you. You have to go in there with an attitude of, this is how we're going to do things. And I may ask your opinion, but you best believe we're doing it my way. You have to do that because players need direction. The player can't be the one determining the direction. You have to have a chain of command. Guys respond to that. Believe it or not, when there's too many voices in the locker room, there's no continuity. So Mike has to put his foot down. He has to let guys, he can be real about it. And I think from that standpoint, he can deliver that message. But it's harder to do now that he set the tone that he set. I'm not saying it can't be done.
You basically have to start from scratch with new players.
But in most cases, In most situations like this, it's been the other way. Like a coach has been hard as nails, hard as stones. He's been relentless, and then he eased up. It's never been a coach has been light and easy on his players, let them have a say-so, and then toughened up. It's never gone that way. So what Mike has to do is going to be tough. But these are some of the processes that people in position, players have to change. Players have to be different. Players have to do the things to make themselves successful. So I'm just going to say that, hey, I'm not going to leave it out of the realm of a coach being able to do it. He's a good coach. But the problem is his issues aren't about coaching.
Yeah, I think it's running the organization. Like that's
Correct.
that's been the thing that we've all wondered with him is like, can he be the leader of a whole organization? And I think look, Stefanski took a lot of that heat. You know, I know he made a Super Bowl firsthand, but he took a lot of that heat of like, oh, can he run the organization? Was he losing the locker room? All that stuff.
Not Stefanski.
Not Stefanski.
You're talking about,
Sirianni, my bad.
Sirianni.
Nick Sirianni, my bad.
Right.
He took a lot of that criticism.
Now what happens is, now I'm going to add another aspect to this. Losing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni.
But they lost basically a half, like they lost from the middle of a season.
Here's the deal. Everybody can say whatever they want about Nick Sirianni. He just won a Super Bowl. So when he walks into that meeting room, guys are going to look at him differently because, hey, some of the ridiculousness worked. Some of the things that he do, look how tough we were. Look how physical we were up front.
Yeah. Everybody wants to ban our play.
Everybody's saying I got to be like Philadelphia. So what happens is when you now go to Philadelphia, you're thinking, I got a chance to compete for a championship.
Dade South says, what if, and hear me out.
Oh boy.
The players the Dolphins have are not better than the players on the better teams.
That's what I say a lot of. No, that is factual.
So
but what I would say is this. Sometimes the mentality that you play with can win some games where you're not matching talent. And I would say this. Far too many times fans will look at the talent they have and say how good we should be. And that's not really a good assessment because they're all NFL players.
We'll take a break here on the show. More to come. You guys can get on the chat, Miami 560 WQM on YouTube and Twitch. We're back after this.
The Panthers are prepping for Game 5.
Welcome back, you rascals. Hey, you guys looking for a place to watch the Cats game tomorrow?
Well, where would that be?
Well, Leroy, maybe you want to go to the old Baptist Health Iceplex.
We've been there. It's awesome.
It really is awesome. And I got to tell you, if you're a Panthers fan, you want souvenirs, if you guys never make it to the arena for Pantherland, they got a hell of a souvenir shop in there too. So if you want some Panthers swag, great place to go at the Iceplex. But they will host their official Game 5 watch party at the Baptist Health Iceplex. Fans can register to ice skate, enjoy giveaways, food and drinks, mascot appearances while watching the game on screens around the facility. For more information, go to BaptistHealthIceplex.com. I did like, though, yesterday, Paul Maurice, he declared Matthew Tkachuk all the way back. And I was like, I like that.
He's played very well the last 2 games.
He has. And now give him a little edge, Vlad, where he goes, hey.
You check out Barkey?
I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm very excited.
I know.
Very excited for this game.
There's going to be a lot of fights tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because here's the deal. Even if you want to do all that fighting, I don't know if you want to give the other team an advantage. So I think it'll be physical while trying to toe that line.
I didn't say the Panthers would do it.
Oh, because let me
They're
tell
the
you.
veterans. They've been here before.
Let me tell you. Here's the deal. Your dumb coach just put you on notice and go have you out there acting crazy.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, they got the bad guy on TV today. Oh, Ultimate Fighter.
20th anniversary.
Love Chael Sonnen.
DC.
Love DC too.
Let me tell you something. How that guy was able to get to 205?
Yeah.
Is still one of the most amazing
well,
things. Well,
sometimes he didn't. He just cheated on the scale.
The pull-ups.
The old push on. Wrestlers have tricks, man. It's impressive. But weigh-ins are, Tommy had to weigh in for his jiu-jitsu competition. They had the whole thing. Put him on the scale. I'm like, whoa, this is intense.
Oh, really? Because it doesn't matter how old you are, it's your weight.
There is age, but there's also weight. So like they have.
We had that in Pee Wee football.
Yes.
I had to be under 110. Dude, some of these kids were 70, 80 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I was 109 3/4.
So you were a big fat kid when you were young.
No, I was just big.
Nah, you were big fat.
I wasn't fat.
Ah, you were big and fat.
I was just big.
That explains a lot. That explains a lot now.
Were you fat shamed?
Were you fat shamed?
You
Yeah.
know why? Because I was dumb trucking fools.
That's what a lot of the big fat people say.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. All my other friends that were pushing that weight that played, they end up being linemen and just huge. I was not. I just got to my weight quicker, because when I was like my freshman year of high school, I was 5'9", 185.
I mean, DC's great. There's only one guy on the planet he couldn't beat. So I guess
Pretty
Stipe
much.
afterwards once he got older. But
He didn't beat Stipe, right?
he beat Stipe once, but then he lost to him
Stipe,
twice.
yeah.
That's probably the most amazing thing.
What?
Is how good DC was, but we
It's just
only
too-
remember his fights with Jon Jones.
Well,
I don't think
because-
By the way, Jon Jones is in Thailand right now.
He's not
because
fighting anytime soon.
He don't look like he's fighting anytime soon.
He's
Vlad.
living a life.
He is living in Thailand, and
He's
like
living in Thailand?
Well, he's in Thailand right now, and he's living it up in Thailand. And he was. What was the quote that he gave today? He gave a quote today about because people were like, "You're ducking Aspinall," and he goes, "Is it ducking if I'm just loving my life?"
Yeah,
like, well, no, but are you gonna fight him or what?
So then for him to beat him, and then what happens then?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing. I think he will beat him, but I don't know. Like, he doesn't want to. Here's the thing. I don't think he wants to fight him unless he gets crazy money, which is hey, I fought everybody. I've beaten everybody.
I made a lot of money.
You guys can afford it. You're going to do a boxing match where you're going to pay Canelo and Terrence Crawford. You want to promote boxing? Well, this is your Terrence Crawford killer. You want me to fight the heavyweight champion of the world or your interim heavyweight champion of the world? A 27, 28-year-old killer?
And the president has my back too.
He does.
He loves him some Jon Jones.
Well, he did the dance in front of him.
Yeah.
He said, I've got people in my chat calling me a duck. Meanwhile, I'm absolutely living my best life. I don't know if it's considered ducking when you're living good. I don't think it works like that. It's in Thailand.
Yeah. I think we should just, like, sometimes we get caught up with who we want to see and not what they want. But it's fighting's fault. And here's why. Because whenever the two guys wanted to fight, they would try to position it a certain way,
right,
till where it never happened. I got tired of this in boxing.
And it's happening with UFC. And this has happened now with 2 Jon Jones heavyweight fights where they didn't want to pony up for Ngannou, and now they don't want to pony up Jon for Aspinall.
Right.
And I know how this dog and pony show is going to work. Like, Dana White goes from, oh, Jon should go down to middleweight instead of fight Francis Ngannou at heavyweight. And then all of a sudden Francis is a rich coward and he doesn't want to do it. And trust me, he'll do the same thing to Jon Jones.
Right.
You know, he'll do the same thing to Jon Jones. He'll switch up on Jon Jones and he'll promote Aspinall as the guy Jon Jones ducked facing. Like, it's the oldest play in the book. For me, he's the GOAT. There's no need. Would I love it? Of course, because I like seeing him fight. What he did to Stipe was too old. He killed that old man. It was too much. He shouldn't have been in there. Shouldn't have been in there. What he did to him was a crime on the old.
How old is Jon Jones?
He's like
39, maybe 38, but Stipe's 43.
Right.
And hadn't fought for 2 years because he was only waiting for this fight.
But the crazy thing about all of this is
he's turning 38 in July.
All of this, people want to see Jon Jones fight. And why the UFC doesn't recognize this and play these games to the point where Jon Jones seems like the type of person that'll be like, I'm done.
Yeah. He's at a point right now where he's like one of the rare guys. He doesn't need to fight. He'll be okay. Right. Like, he's going to do appearances or whatever his whole life and get big checks just to show up places. Jon Jones.
Yeah, he's currently filming.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's filming an Alf reality. So
Alf?
Alf? Yes, that's
like the old 80s show, 90s
says
show?
John. Yeah. That's the reason why Aspinall, because Aspinall yesterday wanted a decision. Like, he's like, enough is enough.
I want a decision, John.
And that's why John said, hey, man, I'm living my best life. Yeah, he's filming movies. He's doing it all.
The thing that sucks for Aspinall is there's like nobody in the heavyweight division for him to fight. You know, that's the thing. That's the other thing is, like, if he had a supplemental fight that he could go to, that you'd be like, oh, all right, that's still a pretty good fight. But there's nobody. It's Cyril Gans, the guy like behind him. He's, you know, like Volkov, Alexander Volkov, who was an afterthought, has had a nice resurgence. Invited me one time to go ice diving for him because he's Russian.
So the Alf reality is the Russian
ice
version.
Diving.
Yeah.
Who's ice diving?
Alexander Volkov. I interviewed him one time when I was doing Tapped Out for BetQL, but we did it with his Russian translator, and he goes, "He's sick. Come to Russia. Dive in ice with him." I'm like, I don't think. He's like, come, please. He was very friendly, but I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to Russia to dive in ice.
By the way, the Alf reality is the Russians' answer to the Ultimate Fighter. Him and Nate Diaz are going to be the coaches.
That's what he's doing. I did see that, Vlad. That's cool.
I mean, that's not him ducking. He's actually working for, doing something within the
I don't think
business.
it's like, look, he's got a price. Like, there's few guys who the UFC have at a point where it's like, I can say no. I have my price. Like, it's the same thing with Canelo and David Benavidez, right? It's like Canelo's like, I could fight David Benavidez for the same money, but he is twice my size. I could fight Terrence Crawford, who's about my size, a little smaller. Which fight would I want? Which fight's actually bigger? You're always going to swing things into your advantage. That's what an A side does. Always.
Right.
It's that's nothing new with fighting. Gervonta Davis did the same thing with Ryan Garcia. Oh, yeah, I'll fight you, but you gotta be at 140, and you're not gonna be weighing above 147 before we fight. Devin Haney, he got too cute. He goes, wait, who needs it? Well, your chin. Take a break. Little damage is done, my friend. Is next.
WQ
Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Let's get to our favorite Tuesday game. The damage is done, my friend. Go around the room, say where the damage has been done. Everybody discussing Giannis Antetokounmpo's future. But one man has stepped in and tried to give him a little bit of advice. I don't know if anybody wants to take advice from this guy. Dwight Howard. He stepped in and said, "Don't leave, Giannis." Coming from someone who's been there. I gotta tell you, the damage is done, Dwight Howard. I don't know if you're the guy that I want to go with future career plans with. I guess you're trying. Your heart is in the right place. Your heart is in the right place.
My heart was in the right.
Your heart was in the right place. But I just don't know if he's the guy I'm going to listen to on that. Maybe others.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer.
He's a champion.
He is a champion. Trust me, you don't have to tell me, Vlad. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm seeking the oracle of Dwight Howard to give me advice on these things. I think the damage is done with that. Leroy?
My damage is done. Goes to the Boston Celtics.
Oof.
You are a three-point shooting team. You've accepted that. You have shown the world that we're going to chuck up threes and still win. You have done that. You did it extremely well last night and still lost. Now, the damage is not only done, but I have a feeling you're done because your guy's hurt. And it almost seems like the more threes they shoot, the less defense they play. So while you're a three-point shooting team, and I look at them like I look at almost like the Dolphins, right? There comes a point in time where you need to be aggressive and get fouls and get to the free throw line. And they're so busy shooting threes that they miss out on that portion of the game. Now, Brown, not Tatum, but Brown does it. Jaylen Brown does it, right? Only to the left, but he does it. And Smitha says, right, they were done before Tatum got hurt. Like when that game was close in the fourth quarter, Vlad, when that game was close in the fourth quarter, was I the only one that said Celtics are done? Because they ain't got that dude like
no, that's what the Knicks want. The Knicks want every game to be close with 5
They
minutes
just want it to be close.
Mm-hmm.
And then just give it the ball to 11.
And you made 9 threes in the first quarter and had a commanding lead. Oh,
they've had a lot of commanding leads in this series.
Yes, you're done. Because guess what? When it gets down to that 5 minutes that we talking about, when it gets down to that crunch time in the end of the game, you almost need that guy to go bulldog and just go to the rim, either get foul shots or and ones or whatever. Not just being 40% from three. That ain't gonna cut it.
Sexy Sauce says, I thought Jason Tatum was Superman. Yeah. Not last night. That was tough to watch.
Hey, well, Superman, then the Knicks must be Lex Luthor.
Luther or Luger?
Luger or Luther?
Luther.
Both bad guys.
One was the total package.
Is it It's Luther?
Yes,
Luther
in the comics.
Yeah,
you mentioned the wrestler.
You mentioned
no
the
Lex
wrestler.
Luger.
You said Lex Luger. You tried to get.
I tried to catch myself.
Vlad, what do you got for damage?
Sometimes my brain is moving faster than my mouth, and I didn't have a minute to think about it because it was just.
But it's the way you try to like.
I corrected myself.
No, but you try to like. No, I said Luther, right? And then you were like, no. And you finally said, "No, we're not gonna let that. We're not gonna let that go, Leroy."
No, because I know that if old boy was there, Marcos, he.
What's your damage, Vlad?
Toronto Maple Leafs head coach, bro.
Berube?
I don't like Berube.
I don't like him either.
I don't like nothing about him. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like his face. I don't like his suit. I don't like the way he talks. Like all of a sudden you down over you. Hey, you weren't talking none of that when you were up 2-0, right? None of that. None of that. And you won every game you won was one goal. You lose game 3 in overtime, cool. But then you got handled. You got handled in game 4, and now you're trying to talk all this little stuff, saying, you're not playing. We're playing more physical than. Get out of here, man. Respect the champs.
Is every coach a weenie that's not Paul Maurice? Like, I just feel like everybody that we come across, like the same thing happened with Pooper, the Knobloch last year. Like, I just feel like nobody's as cool as Paul Maurice.
No, they're not. They're not. Then nobody, you know what it is? Nobody knows their team. These head coaches don't know their teams the way Paul Maurice knows his team.
Yep.
So that's my damage is done. Now you're gonna get your ass kicked tomorrow night.
Can't wait, dude. I'm excited about that. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, the Miami Heat did something very interesting yesterday, Leroy. Very interesting. Could be something. It could be nothing. I don't know. That's next. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program.
By the way,
what's up?
You are enjoying yourself too much.
Why? I'm having a good time, baby. Because I'm tuning into San Francisco radio.
It's hilarious.
Don't worry, I'll be listening to the Boston radio after.
Vlad, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Nothing like going to do a little grief listening. It
Should
is.
we have a grief off when these two teams lose?
San Francisco and Boston?
Yeah.
That'd be good. Sick of both of them.
Because it's funny. Because if Tatum is as good as everybody claims he is, they've been trying to make him a superstar for the last 4 years.
That's right.
Then you also have to admit that Boston has no chance without him. Right?
Well, they don't have a chance. I mean,
we know they didn't have a chance with him. Like when you see how this last game went.
They don't have it. Yeah, look, and I hope that the whole you don't root for injury. Obviously, I don't want Jason Tatum to be out with something significant. That was tough watching him. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. But there were a lot of flaws before that injury happened already getting exposed by that team.
When you can't see any twist or any like clear injury, that means it's probably something worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what kind of sucks.
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory at the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. The Warriors, they lost last night. They're now down 3-1 to the Wolves. Jimmy Buckets, 14 points.
You really call it? Come on. You after that last clip you just played, you call it Jimmy. You can't call him Jimmy Buckets. He's like, you gotta call him Jimmy. Can't get no buckets.
Can you get Vlad? Can you get the sports radio from this morning from that guy who was furious on 95.7 the game in San Francisco on Jimmy Butler? Just furious with him.
This should make all of South Florida feel good because. You were always, why did Pat get rid of Jimmy? Why did Pat get rid of Jimmy? I got to tell you, he wired his welcome quicker in Golden State because they are hot.
Yeah, they're not happy. Understandably so. They're getting boat raced right now by the Wolves. Valiant effort by him in Game 3, but then ran out of gas. And this past game, they didn't even feel like they had a prayer in hell against this team.
And saw blood in the water, basically.
Yep. How are you feeling, Vlad? You feel like there's no shot that the Knicks blow this anymore?
I want to end this on Wednesday. I don't want to give them any sense of hope. They start talking, let me just win ones, that type of stuff.
We've seen them do that move before.
We've seen them do that move before. I just want to end it because they're ripe for the picking. Like, they're hurt. They're going to break up this team regardless anyway.
Yep.
So this just gives them even more of a reason to. Let's just put them out of their misery, man. Just end it. We need the rest because tonight Cleveland might get knocked out by Indy. So, and the way these series are going, the only series that seems to be going past 5 maybe is it's the Nuggets and Thunder because they're tied at 2.
Shout out to the Nuggets, man. They've made this a series. Really good, this Joker. He's good.
Dude, it's amazing.
Literally just having that, I know Spo spoke well of Adelman when he came in there, but Joker's coaching that team basically.
All the time.
He's
all the time.
I never knew that he had that much fury in him. I only thought that was a big brother thing. I thought that's what he had going on. You have the host Vlad who was losing his mind on Jimmy Butler.
Hold on, I'm trying to.
No problem.
We got to shoot. I got to shoot the ball.
Oh yeah.
I'll play that. This is from last night.
If I watch Jimmy or Pods dribble into the key, jump stop, pump fake, pivot, and try to shoot the ball! You're in the key!
Can I play that again?
Yes.
Can I play that again?
Pivot.
Can I play that again?
Yeah.
Go for it, dude.
If I watch Jimmy or Pods dribble into the key, jump stop, pump fake, pump fake, pump fake, pivot, 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 and try to throw. Shoot the ball! You're in the key! Shoot the ball!
Oh, that's good.
Pump fake, pump fake, pump fake, pump fake.
Is that what you were showing? That's the bite you were talking
No,
about?
he's got more. There's more.
I sent you another one of an angry caller, but this one,
okay, hold on.
but that was the one I really wanted to hear. Shoot the ball! Beside himself.
You can tell he's been yelling the whole game too, because he's hoarse.
I'm so upset. Schmiefin says Tobin.
Pivot, 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 and try to throw. Shoot the ball! You're in the key! Shoot the ball!
Remix that and play it in the club.
Pump fake, pump fake, pump fake. Pivot.
You
don't understand. This is what it's like. He's incredibly frustrating. When he does that thing all the time, when he goes right to the rim, and he goes, guess what? 3 ball to you, Pods. Oh man,
that's from deep too. That man was
he
hurt.
was very upset. He was very upset.
Secret agent. Why did that sound like Tobin? He wouldn't have used that many. He wouldn't use that many pump fakes. He would have got to the point.
Somebody send that to Pat Riley so he could use that as his background noise for sleep tonight. It's like, yeah, pump fake, pump fake, pump fake. Can I hear it one more time, Vlad?
I think you sent me the same clip.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Well, just send me the shoot. I just want to hear him again. Let me
Okay.
hear him enraged.
If I watch Jimmy or Pods dribble into the key, jump stop, pump fake, pump fake, pump fake, pivot, 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 and try to throw. Shoot the ball! You're in the key! Shoot the ball!
I give that man credit.
Hey,
you know why I give him
what?
credit? Because he
That
wanted
could
to
be
say,
a new dance.
He wanted to say, shoot the ball. He
Yeah,
caught
man.
himself. Listen to that.
If I watch Jimmy or Pods dribble into the key, jump stop, pump fake, pump fake, pump fake, pivot, 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 and try to throw. Shoot the ball! You're in the key! Shoot the ball!
By the way, I just watched the replay.
Hmm?
I think he does have an Achilles.
Yeesh. Tatum?
Who?
Yeah.
Tatum, that was a non-contact injury, bro.
Yeah, he just went down.
But when you don't see any twisting of the ankle,
Yeah, that's
that's an Achilles.
That's an Achilles. It's the same thing that happened to Dame.
God,
but
that was
can
good.
I just tell you, this may be. Now, we see Jimmy and see this version of Jimmy. And I think from this standpoint, it's hard. And it's not the first time this has happened. Teams don't look at Jimmy as a number one. They look at him as Robin, right? But for some reason here, they were able to make him a number one, or he was able to be a number one. That gives, to me, it makes the Heat organization look better. Y'all can't win with him? We did.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying? So it kind of has a different effect than what people thought it was going to have.
He's not even Robin right now. He's like Aquaman.
50 million. No, sorry. Lewis likes to fish. It's 60 million. Not 50, 60. He got another 12 million coming to him.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait.
he had that. He had.
When did that
next year-
contract kick in?
2 years from now.
27, right?
He got the extra
27.
year. So he got
55 next year,
55 next year, and I think 60 the year after that.
and then 60.
And that was
after.
the no. That's
Oh.
what he wanted. He wanted this year, next year, and another year. Pump fake, pump fake, pump fake.
He said that's 1 million per pump fake under there. He's trying to get it.
Oh my god, he's lost it. I respect it.
He's lost it.
Game recognized game. He did it with a little more
Woof, he's pissed.
No.
That's season on the brink anger.
Oh yeah.
That's what that is.
Yep.
I think I was that angry at Andrew Wiggins after the Cavs series.
Yeah, dude, from a sports place, I was annoyed. From a human being place, where this guy just had a newborn and you made him pick up and go across the country and live somewhere else by himself, away from his family, I sympathize, right? And I don't know why people don't understand that when these guys have families, right? That's no easy thing. The same thing happened to Dame last year, right? When they trade for Dame.
No, I mean kind of the opposite because his family was breaking up.
Yeah, but still, he had to deal with some stuff. His kids and everybody were, in Portland. He had to just get up and leave.
This is some of the callers that are calling in today at 95.7 The Game in San Francisco. Here's what they had to say on Jimmy.
Trace was on it too. But Jimmy, man, I ain't going to call him Jimmy Buckets. I'm going to call him Jimmy Don't Get No Buckets. And poor Pazinski. I'm exhausted. We got cooked, y'all. We exposed. I love my Warriors to death, but we are exposed. We got nothing for this team. Who's going to stop Anthony? Who's going to stop Edwards? Nobody. That dude was blowing past them like gas in the wind. Ain't nobody finna stop that dude.
Wow. Oh, you could tell he went to his roots too, fitna. Ain't nobody fitna.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you what. He's from Oakland. They don't like the San Francisco crowd. That's a real Warrior fan. He was there when they were at the Oracle. That's that. When you say finna like that, that's an old Warriors fan. Not like these new guys going to Chase Center. But man, are they upset? Boy, got to give Jimmy credit though. It's not like he's the only one that's getting ripped. They're putting pods in there with him.
Yeah. Wait, pods.
They put pods there with Jimmy.
He's been shooting really bad.
But you're acting like Pods is Curry. He's not even a half a Curry. Come on, man.
Yeah, but he ain't getting paid to come in and be Curry.
He's not getting paid.
Jimmy is.
You're right. No,
it's his second year. So this is like.
Yeah, that's kind of what we did to Tyler. Like he had some success early on, and then we just all of a sudden, you got to do that all the time now.
Take a break. Back after this.
Man. Man. Hey, Vlad.
Imagine getting the
This guy, I thought my boy. I thought this was my boy. He is not human. He has no sympathy for nobody if they can't do what he wants them to do.
I don't think it's not having sympathy. I think it's I have eyes and what's obvious.
It's been 3 months, dude.
He doesn't want to be here.
And you can tell in 3 months.
Yes.
Maybe the circumstance in which he got here, he wasn't able to wrap his mind around it. Give him an off season. Let him move everybody here.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
I'll give him an off season if we get KD.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
oh my goodness, man.
What?
Hold
That's
on,
you.
Hold on, Leroy. Hold
Oh
on.
my goodness.
The audience doesn't know what happened during the break. As always, some of the best segments are done during the break. So Leroy and I were talking about Andrew Wiggins. Who do you believe has a better chance of turning it around for their team? Wiggins or Jimmy? Jimmy for the Warriors or Wiggins with the Heat? I said I'm going with the young guy.
Well, it's a bit of a weird question.
Leroy says yes.
Hold on.
You, Tobin, you said no.
Hold on, though. First of all, it's a weird question.
Why is it a weird question?
Because Jimmy turning it around for the Heat or turning it around for the Warriors, he did turn it around for the Warriors. Right now, they're going to get bounced. And that's bad. But when he got there, it's not even a question whose tenure was better. It's not. If your question is who's going to be better going forward,
yes.
Who's going to have a more successful year next year?
Yeah.
Go with Jimmy.
I'm going Wiggy.
Wiggins.
All right. I mean,
dude. So, see, you're that guy. You're that guy that thinks what you've seen from a person the last 2 years.
This is what he's been his whole career.
Different.
This is what he's been his whole career. This is what he's been his whole career. And this was also added with not being healthy. And then when he was healthy, looking like it was like having a toddler eat his vegetables being in the Heat jersey.
No, I understand that, but we're not talking about that now. We're talking about moving forward.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're telling me Jimmy next year will be more successful than Andrew Wiggins.
Give me the guidelines of what that means, because it's a very hocus pocus thing you're saying, because he's already been more successful with the Warriors than Andrew Wiggins was with the Heat, which was no success at all.
And my question to you is, you don't sympathize with that man for having to move all the way across country and because he makes a lot of money?
I sympathize with him
because he makes a lot of money.
It's not that he doesn't make a lot of money.
Do you understand what he's been through in the last couple of years?
He's had personal loss, as did Jimmy, by the way.
Okay.
No, he did.
But
I mean, like, what, we're going to grade tragedies?
No. Let me explain something to you. Human nature is such that the same thing can happen to two different people, and the response is totally different. It's about your makeup and who you are. One guy's not more tougher or less tougher than the other guy because you handled the same situation differently.
I'm not saying that he doesn't have tough mental makeup. It really doesn't have, like, I don't think Andrew Wiggins couldn't do his job. I'm just saying, genuinely, I don't think he wanted to be here. I think he liked being in Golden State, and I don't think he likes being a member of the Miami Heat. Okay. That's it. Okay. We've never seen that where a player doesn't like being. I don't think he likes being here.
You're just basing that off of his
production, body language.
He's always looked like a mope.
Well, he looked extra mopey.
Yeah, I mean,
even on the bench, dude.
Can I just say
he had resting bench face?
Yeah, because.
But fam, I'm sorry, Leroy. But Tobin, if you get traded right when you get a baby, like I'm sorry. If we could do trade of radio talent, and all of a sudden, Glenn decides, hey,
he trades you for that guy.
He trades you to 95.7
for pivot
for Mark Willard. And some guy in 95.7. I don't know. You know what I mean? But just say he did that to you.
And it's during the school year. You got to leave.
It's during the school year with your wife, and I think your wife is an educator, right?
Yeah,
she is.
Right, and you have two young children. Would you? How would you feel? Like, think about it. You would be like, "Holy crap!" Like,
how would I feel? I would feel terrible.
Right.
But do you want to know what happened when that red light would go on?
When?
See, and I hate
Warriors fans, we are going to get the Greek freak, baby. You want to know why? Because I'm a show pony, and when it's time to show, I go. That's what I do, baby.
But you're gonna be
now that when the lights go off, I'm so low.
Yeah, but okay, again,
at least he's honest.
When I told you all the cities I lived in that year with Baltimore, Carolina, and Minnesota.
Yes.
You know what the one thing I was grateful for? I was single. I could just pack my little bag and go. I didn't have to worry about anybody else. I didn't have to feel bad about leaving a situation. I was out. I can't imagine people. I've seen like coaches who leave their families behind or whatever. Now, I'm not saying that I would have a problem with it one way or another. What I'm saying is people handle things differently. And if you add that, maybe the only comforts he had after the tragedy that he experienced a couple years ago was his family. And now he has to be shipped to a place where he don't even have that.
Okay.
Like, everybody handles stuff differently. All I'm saying is this. Before you dismiss Wiggins, before you dismiss him, give him an offseason to get his affairs in order, to get settled in, right? It's human nature to feel the way he felt. It's not, oh, well, he gets paid a lot of money, or it has nothing to do with that. It's human.
Okay.
So
when have I said he can't be a human?
No, because when you just said
he doesn't want to be here.
And I'm saying you can't know that just based on the circumstances that happened the last 3 months.
Okay. But I don't really understand what one thing has to do with the other. Because
it has a lot to do with it. You're determining about how he looks, how he feels, how he's doing this, how he's doing that.
Didn't show up to exit media day.
And?
Why?
I mean,
you can say it's voluntary, but why? I know why Terry Rozier wouldn't show up. Duncan Robinson, because he's on the
See, but you can't give some people an excuse and then blame him for not showing up.
Well, there are 3 guys that didn't show up. One of them has a contract that he doesn't know his future is going to be in Duncan Robinson. Andrew Wiggins is under contract with the Heat next year.
Maybe he wanted to get back to his family.
Family's here, dude. It's not like they were across the country.
His family is...
His wife was TikToking. She was at the games. It was an extra day. I get it. Yes, I'm sure it was a shock and awe. But also, you may not just like it.
And you, the expert on all, can determine that.
I guess I'm not an expert, Leroy, but you want to know something?
I'm not. See, I'm not either. But I'm not jumping to that.
No, you actually are, because you're just saying it absolutely melted him down, and we don't know that. You know what else?
I'm saying I don't know either way, but I'm also saying that it's human nature to maybe look that way after having to ship yourself across country.
Okay, and also maybe he just wasn't that. He also wasn't good.
Okay.
I got two reports.
Go for it, dude.
One breaking news. Florida Panthers, one of their vice presidents got suspended for social media texts towards the Toronto Maple Leafs and their fans.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I got to look into that before we talk about something like that.
And second, I just got a text. Hi, Vlad. This is Sam Lubman from the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. Heard you guys play some clips from us this morning. If Tobin and Leroy want to hear from the source, I could probably have Joe Shasky available to join you guys in the last minutes of the show to get some unfiltered
I would
Jimmy
love it.
takes.
I would love it.
Love it.
I would love it. I would love it. Who got back to them? Must have been one of our must have been one of our chatters.
Well, aren't we on the Odyssey family?
Yeah. We are, but
yeah. So then,
I don't like that. That's getting word back very fast,
dude. That's there's a 3-hour difference. That's like at 7:00 in the morning.
What is is Knox in the Odyssey master control and listening to everything?
Who's listening? Listen, I lived out in Cali, but damn, to be listening at 7:00 in the morning is crazy.
Look, I'm not banning Andrew Wiggins from the Heat. I just want to be clear. I just don't think he wants to be here.
All right.
Maybe now, if I have KD here with him, that'd be great. I would love that.
Okay.
I'm not saying he has to be shipped out in any trade.
Listen, I understand.
You understand, but you also understand why he's an unbelievably frustrating player.
Yes, because he has talent.
No. Like he looks like basketball. If you wanted to make a basketball player, like he should be the greatest basketball player in the league, Leroy. And it's really frustrating because he will show it for you for 6 minutes. And then it's like Groundhog's Day because I may not see it for another 3 weeks. And I'm like, what the hell is that? What is that? How do you, what is that?
I know, but can I ask you a question?
He had like 3 15-point quarters.
Why? My question to you is, there was a lot of that going around this team, and you have never gone after anybody else like that.
Oh, everybody got it this year.
I mean, that's one of the problems I had with Jimmy and Tyler. Don't you have to be aware that you're only scoring 8 points in a quarter and do what you can to get to the rim or something? Like it. So it's not. I guess I'm a little hesitant to attack one player with it.
Don't worry.
When we've said about a bunch of players, but the way you've gone at he doesn't want to be here or whatever, I don't know that.
I don't think he wants to be here.
Okay. Now, like I would just like to. It's moments like this because I do believe Andrew Wiggins is a hell of a player. I don't know what his role's going to be consistently, right? But I do believe I've seen times in a game where if they needed somebody to get to a rim and he put his mind to it, he was getting to the rim. And he can shoot the three. And he can play some defense. So he is a player that the Heat don't have on this team that can help them.
I guess, but like he wasn't helping the Warriors either. They were pretty mired in mediocrity with him there.
Yeah.
I get it. He had a great run with them in the championship, no doubt.
All right, like I don't know. I don't know how much.
Like they forgot about him pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't know how much of the other stuff affected it. I don't know what his mentality was. But I don't know that. I'm just looking at the talent.
Okay, but also a lot of the things that we're talking about with Andrew Wiggins, respect all the personal stuff that's gone on. I will not dismiss that. But Andrew Wiggins wading in and out of a basketball game and season has literally been the story of his career, Leroy.
Yes.
It's not new.
It's not new.
It's not new.
So if you think Heat culture can fix Zion and Heat culture can fix Ja, why can't it fix Wiggins?
How do you fix that? What do you put dog in him? I don't know what you do.
No, you like the same. Wait, we've had players come here and be hesitant. I remember Chris Bosh. Remember Chris Bosh? They were like, "Hey, dude, go!"
Yeah.
So, like, why can't that happen for Wiggins?
Maybe.
But you give the Heat credit and culture credit for a lot of things. Why can't it fix Wiggins?
I don't know, because he's Andrew Wiggins, dude.
Okay.
Take a break. Mix it on up next. Meow, meow, meow. Brum, bum, bum. Oh, hello, Jennifer.
By the way, Vlad.
Hey.
I heard you catch yourself. No, we was talking just now.
I did.
He caught himself. I was like, oh, he was getting mad.
Okay, we were talking, like I said, we were talking about nothing frustrates us more in the NFL than like when a cornerback gets burnt and he's looking at the safety for help. I'm like, no, you got beat. But I was about to say that Leroy. I said, Leroy, nothing. Like I had to catch myself. Like nothing frustrates me more than seeing a cornerback get burnt and he's looking at the safety and I'm like, nah, bro, that was you. That was you. You got burnt.
My least favorite thing that a cornerback does is when a ball is well overthrown and they still go incomplete.
Like
you didn't do anything.
They always do that when there's an incomplete pass thrown their way.
Yeah.
Like,
hilarious. Let's get to the mixed bag. We'll start off with our Florida Panthers, who are practicing, getting ready to travel to Canada. Wednesday, Game 5 against the Maple Leafs. Paul Maurice had some beautiful thoughts on the growth of hockey in South Florida. This is Paul Maurice.
We started in, was it Miami Arena? Is that what it's called? I don't know if you remember the ice in that place. Oh, it's the only NHL game played in a sauna. It was like we would have guys getting IVs after the game because it was tough, right? And this is not just the Florida Panthers, but it was true of Tampa too. And I'm in Carolina at the time. You get the Jumbotron feed for your video breakdown. So you never saw a face-off. You got the mouse and the rat, and you got every pretty person in the building. And then it wasn't they cut to it. They would just take the camera and zoom down and then kind of follow it around. And that was your video. Like nobody knew we played. And it's changed now. I mean, it's a thriving market. I'm walking out of the rink yesterday between I walk home, so I ran into this young family. They had 4 young kids, and you know the 8-year-old plays hockey now, and then the girl plays hockey too, and that's kind of how it starts, right? And then we've got this fantastic facility here, so you see more youth programs starting, and that's the groundswell when the kids start. So there's a whole chunk of people from last year that have this kind of incredible family memory. It's not really the Panthers. It's what their family did in relation to us winning, right? Like superstitions, people coming over to the house, all that. And they get to keep that. And these kids grow up in that, right? Florida Panther fans. And then they start playing hockey. And then you have a base. It's a little bit like that Carolina idea. When we went in there, she was pretty thin for a while. And then they had some success. So now the kids start, now they get more hockey rinks. Now they are almost generational, right? When a mom and dad take the 5-year-old to a game, they go off to school. They go to school as Florida Panther fans, or they're going to university in Boston, and that's great. And they come back, and then their kids start coming. I think that's here. It feels like it's here.
Wow, the evolution of a hockey fan.
Wow,
that was beautiful.
I want an audio book of that. Like,
he's great. He's beautiful with words. He is beautiful with words.
By the way, RVA Richie, kick rocks.
What do you say?
Technology 67, Leroy 0.
It did take you a while to fix that camera.
E. Sim says that was soothing. Yeah, he's soothing. It is soothing.
I love Paul Maurice when he talks. But when you ask him a stupid question or a question,
he wasn't about it yesterday. You got him yesterday with the media because the media was trying to get stuff out of him yesterday and pick at him. He goes, he's like, I don't even want to be here today. Like this should be my day off.
Don't you guys feel it's kind of a rainy day today? It's a little bit rainy. We spent a lot of energy last night. We don't really need a whole lot of energy for 2 more days. It's kind of a mellow day today. And then you guys got a job to do, right? So like you're still working. I'm floating right now. You're working. So you need stuff. Just telling you, probably not getting a lot today.
At least he's honest.
I love how you started off like a conversation. It's a rainy day today. You know, guys, like, it's a rainy day today.
Hey, we give it the setup before the letdown.
build them up. Yeah, you guys are working. You're still going at it. I'm on cloud 9. I'm
giving you nothing.
I'm giving you nothing.
You get nothing today, dude. You get nothing. All right. Well, we appreciate Paul Maurice for his honesty and his beautiful words.
Even him saying that, though, that's giving you something. Like, we just heard that and we appreciated that.
My favorite question was, did you feel like you guys played a Panthers game on in the win 2-0 on Sunday? And he goes, and then he gives you that look that of like,
gets the side eye.
No, I feel like we just played our game and won. It's not a Panther game. I just feel like we won.
He doesn't live in 2Q.
He doesn't.
He's just like,
I don't believe in momentum.
Silly.
I like it.
Let's flip it over to the Dolphins. Some of their rookies getting their feet wet at rookie camp. Ollie Gordon II, who people are excited about. 6th round running back. Doak Campbell winner, right? A couple of years ago for Oklahoma State.
Who?
Ollie Gordon. He had like a crazy 2023 and then like took a step back last year.
Yeah, that's why guys leave when they can. I think he couldn't leave. It was the second year.
Doak Walker, excuse me, not Doak Campbell. I'm an idiot. Doak Walker Award winner in 2023. He was asked about, is he used to the South Florida heat? How does he plan on getting used to that? This is what he had to say.
I would say, actually, yeah, summers in Oklahoma get really hot, and, we'll have summer ball out there, and the ground will be real hot, And we also played a game in Arizona State. So, yeah, we played Arizona State probably, 2 years ago, and it was hot. So, it was yeah, beginning of the season, yeah, it was crazy.
That's oven hot. This is steamy hot.
What kind of laugh is that?
You know what? Can I just say this?
Time out. Your running back can't laugh. Your running back can't.
Can I just say this?
No. Leroy,
you go tell his big ass.
I will. No, you not. I do not want a running back that laughs like that to go
giggles?
through the giggle. I don't even think that was a giggle. That's not a chuckle.
That was like he was tickled.
That sounded like a tickled. Like he was tickled to death by that comment.
Pillsbury Doughboy tickled.
I don't know. I don't trust him going through.
I like it. I think you should clip it.
Going through the tackles now. You're not getting a 3rd and 1. Do not give him the ball. I mean, sorry. No.
That was something.
No.
Hey, I get tired of people talking about this is humid and this is that's why they have feels like.
Somebody says that's worse than Kawhi's laugh.
He laughs like a monster.
I'm a fun guy. Harvey Richard says a fancy was tickled in that interview.
You were listening to
Oh my god. Crooked the King says Temu version of Kawhi's laugh. He's used to the heat. That's what he's got. Dr. Emmy says, I want him breaking tackles while laughing. Oh man, put him on NFL films and he's doing that after he dump trucks somebody. That'll go viral. Tickled to death, dude. Crazy. It's been a good mixed bag. Kenny G, Kenneth Grant, their 1st round pick. He says he's going to change the culture of the Dolphins. That's what he had to say.
There's always pressure and things like that, but I think me personally, I'm a culture changer. I could change, winning cultures. I come from a winning culture, so I know what a playoff run is like. But obviously in the NFL is different, but still, I kind of know what that's like. But going through an 18-week season, that plays a toll. But just trying to, learn all the tips and tricks that the older guys, tell me.
Is today the first time you?
There you go. You don't like that? I like that.
Right. I like it, but then he was talking too much. Because when you start talking, then you kind of like counter.
Well, because sometimes, Vlad, let me tell you, sometimes the question is a 2-parter, and you only play a part of the question, right? Of the answer.
But I'm a culture changer. At least I personally think that. Okay, cool. I know.
But he's trying to do it without disrespecting
I've changed
the
culture.
fact he just got in the league. And
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Do what Leonard Fournette did.
I've changed
I didn't
cultures.
think the NFL was going to be this hard. I mean, it's easy.
But you can't say you change cultures, but you've never been in NFL culture. You understand that.
But a guy that plays his position, that plays the way he plays, does change cultures.
He's a giant.
Right.
I hope he changes the culture. Him and Zach Sealer together. Zach Sealer's got to find a new best friend every year.
Poor guy.
Now he's the OG. Lost Calais Campbell. Lost Christian Wilkins. Now he's got Kenny G. Apparently, Zach Sealer gave a speech to everybody, though. Like, he was the guy that spoke to all the rookies. So
not Tua.
Oh, apparently not.
Tua's not there.
Selling houses, I hear.
I saw that. I don't think it's a big deal. Like that's probably his rookie contract house, wouldn't you think?
I wouldn't be buying. Put it this way: if I know I'm about to make nearly a quarter of $1 billion, I would have been buying another home, looking for another home quite early.
We'll take a break. Final hour coming on up. Back after this.
WQA.
Leroy, can we get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm? YourAccidentAttorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE. Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I don't want to see that. You're showing me the Jason Tatum injury. And
I'm sorry, J-Fig.
Why?
Your girl was singing. They decided they want to sing.
It's okay. I heard it.
It is looking out west, it's mostly cloudy, but looking towards the beach, this is partly cloudy. So I'm gonna go with clouds because the majority of us live on the other side of 95. Winds are coming out of the east, as I can see the plane coming from right to left. Winds are about light winds, 5 to 10 miles an hour, not maybe 5 to 10 miles an hour. And it looks like, let me see the garbage man, see what people are dressed like. Let me look. 84 degrees, maybe a little bit warmer. But that is it. Might be a passing shower, but the rain is not going to rain like it has, like it did yesterday.
Oh, man. Let's get to headlines, which are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory of the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai.
The old love a good weather report.
That's true.
I just like weather report for my own purposes.
Leroy, I'm not going to talk to you in maybe for the rest of the week. Who do you like on Who do you like for this weekend?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What I mean?
Oh, for the Preakness?
Preakness? How dare you? I should smack you. PGA.
Oh, the PGA Championship?
Jesus,
so
this guy, the golfer.
I haven't looked at it yet.
Hold on.
Because it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
It is the week of the PGA.
It's the week of the PGA Championship.
So why is the first thing you think about was Preakness?
Because the Preakness is this week also.
But you missed the golf.
I know. So here's the deal.
You see how you tried to
Here's the deal. No. Here's the deal. Rory is really good at Quail Hollow. I would put a little bitty baby chili pepper, just a little one, on Rory winning the Grand Slam.
What's the odds on that? What can I guess?
It's going to be a lot. A lot, because there's only been 2 people to ever hold all 4 majors at the same time.
Has anybody ever won it in the same year?
Yeah.
Sam Snead.
No.
What, the Masters and the PGA?
No, all the 4 majors. But back in the day, it was the amateurs.
Well, there was the Tiger Slam.
The Tiger Slam. Tigers only got to hold all 4 majors.
Okay, so nobody's done it in a whole.
Nobody's done it in a calendar year. So it'd be a ton.
In golf.
But you feel like a Rory with the burden of being a choke artist finally lifted off his head, even though he did choke. You feel like that.
I don't understand.
Well, he did. I mean,
you know what, Vlad? The crazy thing about this is, I don't think people understand how hard sports are. How hard it is to be successful at this stuff.
No, dude.
You just like disregard it.
It's not that I disregard it. I made 3 putts harder than that at Lagoon Lake this past week. So it's a putt course. Went between the legs with one of them too.
-1. Not.
You really thought you might get away with that one? Did you really think that?
Like,
he really did. He tried so hard.
So this could be something. Could be nothing. I don't know. But Leroy, yesterday, the Miami Heat's Twitter account posted something that makes you go, Yesterday, they posted a quote from Pat Riley, one of these quote graphics, right? And they post, open to the right fit for us. And it was Riles answering the question, are you comfortable with the idea of managing an aging star again? And they put in the second block. For us, could you put the dates? Thanks, Jeff. For us, yes. that player, the right name, I still think can be amazing and play. So an aging player can play, which no bigs. He did say that at the press conference. But the official account posting it makes you wonder, what's a brewing? It could just be they were posting it randomly because they thought it was interesting. Could be. But the official account, very interesting. Why would they post that?
Why would they post that, Tobin?
I don't know, Jennifer. Why would they post that?
It's a little sneaky sneak.
Not something they typically post. Hinting at things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think they're doing that just for you, too.
Could be. I don't know. I mean, they could just be riling me up. I don't think anybody wants, to get me anymore. I'm already riled up, JP. You literally
my eyebrows cut.
I think you're fine, dude. Your eyebrow,
I could see one.
Why are you guys keeping your eyes on me? What do you make of that, Leroy?
Now, what? Nothing. You know why?
Why?
He's trying to make a big deal out of it.
Very interesting.
Out of all the things he said that press conference at?
And a lot in 45 minutes, Jennifer, but they decided to post about an aging star.
That's interesting.
Wonder who they're referring to.
Him going out and getting a star.
Aging, though. Like a fine wine.
So that means he don't want to deal with the two young guys you were talking about. Zion and Ja.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Yeah.
You could
Dude,
be right.
Can I just tell you?
You could be right.
Every so often, when I have nothing to do and I'm watching TV, I wonder, what would this team look like if Tobin got all of his wishes?
Rangs.
It'd be terrible.
I don't think so.
Oh, God.
I don't think so. We'd be having so much fun.
So, okay, who would you go get?
Right now?
Yep.
I can have anybody? Or
I mean,
the likely candidates?
Like the likely candidates. So, maybe Memphis will get rid of Ja. Maybe New Orleans will get rid of Zion. I'll give you that. KD. I'm not even putting Dame in it. He's hurt.
And Giannis is too much of a pipe dream. So those three?
Yeah.
What about Lowry Markkanen?
Oh, you like Lowry?
He likes anybody who used to kill the Heat.
That's not true. I mean, they did kill the Heat. They ruined my kids' fandom because they lost by 36 to the Jazz at home.
So, you got Markkanen. You could throw him in it.
Okay, I'll throw him in it.
Because I think we have Markkanen already.
With Jovic?
Yeah.
I agree.
Just young.
I agree. I love Jovic. And I don't want to get rid of him. I like the KD move. I don't know where he stands on things. It's a little bit interesting. I don't know where.
He's an old curmudgeon that's all about basketball, I think that's great for this team.
You got to think, though, this is one thing that I find interesting. Like, I know a lot of those teams out in the, people are attracted. Like, if you're a star, do you want to go out west right now? I feel like you're banging your head against the wall out there.
Nah, things done changed. After last night, around 9:58 p.m., things done changed in the East.
Open things up.
Once that Achilles popped, everything changed. Now, if you're Milwaukee, are you willing to trade Giannis, or are you trying to make the little moves? Because
you got to talk to Giannis though.
Now you got to talk to Giannis because you don't want to. The East is easy right now to win now in the next couple of years because you don't believe in Cleveland if they get eliminated.
And Cleveland's gonna have to do something.
They're gonna have to do something.
Cleveland's gonna have to move one of their bigs.
Boston's gonna have to do something. They were gonna do something regardless, but now they lost one of their key pieces, so they're gonna have to make.
They're gonna move, but they can move Jaylen Brown, but he's hurt. He got that knee on knee stuff,
and you can't move Tatum because Tatum won't be back until 26. No, 27.
Yep. Yeesh. So, KD.
If you're the Heat right now, you look at KD as you're a KD move away from being a top 3.
I just find it interesting that he says they just put out the aging thing. It just seems like, I don't know, because who do you even consider an aging star other than KD right now? Yeah, LeBron is the only other one, right? I mean, maybe LeBron doesn't want to be on Team Luka anymore. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what they want for LeBron. Or maybe LeBron opts out.
He's a free agent.
He has a player option.
Yeah.
So he could opt out.
Yeah.
The Heat don't have cap space.
When was the last time LeBron was with Miami? Did he take the max? Or did he
took a haircut.
He took a fade.
He took a haircut.
No, he took a fade. He took a fade. He could have had the max.
I think it worked out for him.
Yeah, okay.
I think it worked out for him. So you thinking LeBron on the mid-level?
I think it's LeBron and Bronny.
We could fix Bronny.
Well, I remember you guys last year saying that Bronny's Heat culture, he knows about the Heat. A guy who could develop Bronny better than Spo in the Heat player and the Heat coaching staff.
Wow,
I'm just saying.
He is another aging star. And he did mention LeBron. I don't know if that was tampering by Pat, but in that answer, he did mention LeBron.
Mention Bron a lot. Like yeah, that's true. He did mention Bron's name a lot, but I think you can mention somebody who was formerly with you.
I don't think anybody's getting Pat Riley for that.
I mean,
unless like the Lakers make a stink, but then you're giving him a statue. You're going to hit him for tampering.
You don't see LeBron would be like an added piece to something that's already built, right? You're not bringing in him to like be the LeBron he's been for the last 22 years because you're signing up for like even me, I love LeBron.
Love him.
I'm not signing 23 years in the league LeBron. You ain't going to get that LeBron.
Is there anybody else who's aging like that comes to mind? You consider Paul George?
No.
Me neither.
You keep
stop it. Why are you bringing up all the hurt players?
Well, he's an aging star. I'm trying to figure out other aging stars.
Yeah, you want to take that 3 years and $150 million? No.
If they gave me the 3rd overall pick.
With it
to take it on. But they probably won't. Anybody else aging? Who else
Chris Paul?
No.
All right. He's aged. Kawhi?
No, I don't. You got to bubble wrap him. You got to bubble wrap him.
You think you mad Jimmy didn't play? They were saying Kawhi hit a record. He played 40 games
and didn't take a break off.
This ends with us getting DeMar DeRozan, doesn't it?
No. Mr. Mitty?
Well, that would be your criteria. Former guy.
I'm just looking at aging stars.
You didn't answer my question. So your answer is KD. I'm not talking about
realistically.
I'm not talking about ages.
If I'm not allowed to mention Giannis, I'm saying KD. I think it makes a lot of sense.
So you're doing responsible. You're not.
I'm very responsible. Now, I am going to have fun this offseason.
Shoot you with a sniper gun because a Dane.
I'm not going to look. I'm getting dragged right now through Heat Twitter because I've been aggregated by calling everybody a bunch of weenies and babies because these children, these Gen Z, Gen Alpha Heat fans.
You're one of them.
No, I'm older. I'm an OG, and I'm an OG. And what has happened is
you were 5 when they started.
These people have lost their irrational.
Tobin, hold on.
You even in double-digit ages when
Leroy,
started.
Hold on, Leroy.
No, hold on.
Let
me explain.
Answer my question.
You can't call yourself an OG.
I can.
No, you can't.
I can.
No, that is not how it works.
It is how it works.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that.
Who is a better? Who is a more vocal voice of Heat Nation now than me?
That's cool, but they have to call you an OG. You can't call yourself an OG.
Of course I can.
No, it doesn't
but
work
they're
like
stupid
that.
children.
No.
They're stupid children and
I'm
they're
going to
cowards.
get Tommy in here.
No.
That's fine.
When you say, what they call me.
I'm just telling you, there are a bunch
This is a pointless quibble, by the way. Just saying.
You can't call yourself OG.
Well, he calls himself many names. We're used to this by now.
OG is one of the names you can't. It has to be given to you. You cannot give it to yourself. It has to be given to you.
Fine. But the point stands, Vlad. They're a bunch of babies and cowards, and they're all downtrodden right now. They don't even want to entertain Giannis or KD talks because they just think they're not going to get them. And I'm just ashamed of them because that's just not the fan base that I knew. Because why? Because you swung and missed on the last 4 free agents.
Wait,
you don't want to take any more at bats?
Leroy, is Tobin calling the Heat fan base SAWFT?
Right now they're being soft. They're being and really whiny babies is really what they're acting like, Vlad. Because they don't want to go to the trade trough, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying.
The trade trough.
Yeah, they don't want to go to the trade trough anymore, and it's fine. You guys can sit here. Look, I had my year where I sat out. I had my year of repentance.
You have never sat out.
I sat out a year. No, I sat out a year.
You have
After the
never
first
sat
year
out.
of no Damian Lillard, I sat out of trade talks. But I have come out of this, and I'm going to be in every trade talk, and I don't care. I will. And if we miss on Giannis Antetokounmpo because somebody's better than him, then so be it. That's fine.
But this was a month ago.
What?
You were talking about Ja and
Yeah, that wasn't this wasn't the reprieve year. The year before was.
no, but I'm saying responsible people
Mm-hmm.
don't want Ja or Zion.
I didn't say I was responsible. I just said out of all of the things that you said, I think that one makes the most sense. And I think is reasonably cost. I think that he could make it happen. Now, if KD wants to go to the Houston Rockets and, continue first round exits, go ahead. I don't care. Or he can come here and take over this conference. Let's go. It's up to him. I don't know what he wants.
KD 35, 36?
He's going to be 38, I think, before the year, or 37 before the year.
Yeah.
Who, KD?
Yeah.
Let me check. I think he might be turning 38.
What do you think he feels, Tobin?
Who?
KD?
I don't know what he feels.
You're right. Damn, he shares the same birthday as my sister. All right, cool.
So he's going to be 37?
He'll be 37 in September.
It's a baby.
Once the
So
season
he's 36 now.
Well, that was Riley's point. But I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to have a bunch of beaten down fans. Like, look, I will be appropriately calling out the team at the right times. And yesterday I understood the anger because everybody was like, what do we make the playoffs for? It was pointless. Should have gotten into the lottery, even though you guys weren't going to get it because it's wrestling. And obviously it was fixed for the Mavericks.
It is. Come on.
It obviously is.
Back to
But if you think that I'm going to not engage in fodder for Giannis Antetokounmpo, you're sorely mistaken. And if Giannis doesn't end up on the Heat, guess what? I will move on to something else because that's what I always do. I don't live in this flux where my hope then goes down after failures. I just get buoyed up to the next one. That's what I did.
And you say, never wanted him.
Jennifer, exactly. Because look, let's the Houston Rockets have traded for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. Old, can't get to the rim anymore. Never wanted him. Now, if the Heat get Kevin Durant. Wow!
Always.
Leroy, all-time great scorer, going to tutelage Tyler to the top. We got him next to Bam Adebayo, and Andrew Wiggins is still here, and now he's happy. The East is wide open, my friend, and we brought back Davion Mitchell. So it could go one of two ways, but nothing is going to affect where I'm at.
Yeah, the East right now.
Nothing is going to affect my mood. And so if you guys want to be miserable bastards about it, then be miserable bastards. Talk to you guys in October. But old Tobes over here, I will be happy and chase whales. And then when we don't get them, I will say why I never wanted them in the first place. And we can move on to the next one.
You're the worst. The absolute worst.
Back after this.
WQ
Mirror vein, gone insane, but the memory remains. Heavy rings on fingers wave, another star denies the grave.
All right, quick segment here because we're going to talk to Joe Shasky from 95.7 The Game in San Francisco because he delivered this gem early. You got this, Vlad. This was this is Warriors fan being down 3-1 and a little tired of Jimmy Butler and his lack of shooting. On the morning roast.
If I watch Jimmy or Pods dribble into the key, jump stop, pump fake, pump fake, pump fake, pivot, 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 and try to shoot the ball! You're in the key! Shoot the ball!
I can't wait to talk to him. He's going to stop by the show. So we'll hear what he has to say on that.
Hey,
Oh, man.
I think it's. I mean,
Pivot,
I'm telling you,
pivot.
that could be a. We need somebody to mix that.
100%.
We need somebody to mix that.
Absolutely. No, dude. It sounds like a workout.
No,
it does. It sounds like a workout.
Like
Like
a dance out
a
the
dance
club.
instructor. A dance instructor.
Jump stop. Pivot.
Pivot. Shoot the ball. Shoot the ball.
It's like that lady who she say what you say the dancer, the chick that was doing the workout dance.
Oh my God, that was so great. Tomorrow's game 5 between the Panthers and Toronto Maple Leafs. So we'll react to that.
Santa sleigh, bring the gifts. Santa sleigh, bring the gifts.
Oh man, that is something right there.
Oh my goodness,
really, really funny. So he'll call in next segment. We'll hear from Joe Shasky from the morning roast in San Francisco as the Warriors go down 3-1 tonight in the playoffs. What do we got here for tonight? We have
Game 5 in Cleveland.
Game 5 in Cleveland, 7:00. Cavaliers 7.5-point favorites.
Really? With a Donovan Mitchell game time decision?
7.5, Vlad, is the spread tonight, and then the Thunder are 9.5-point favorites tonight at 9:30 in their game 5. That series is tied at 2 games apiece, so we'll look forward to that as well. Pivot,
pivot.
God, so good. That is something. Last night the Mavericks they won the draft lottery. Even Kyrie Irving came out. Did you see Kyrie Irving even tweeted out 1.8%? Nobody believes this thing is on the up and up.
But here's the other thing. I don't think the league gives a crap that I don't think the league cares that they're not hiding the fact that they cheated.
I don't think they care either.
I don't think they care about that.
I don't think they care either. I think it causes conversation. Fans thinking there are conspiracies is good fodder. I will say though, Vlad, did you notice Cooper Flag didn't look that fired up about it?
No. Well, Cooper Flag's family is Boston Celtics fan. They're from Boston.
They're from Maine.
Maine. So I think there was a chance he thought he was going to Philly. That was going to bother him and his family. But
I thought, this is the way I read it is, I feel like he's like, I gotta go be the replacement to Luka. That's big shoes.
That is big shoes.
That's big shoes. Like, I'm sure he's been like geared up with confidence and all that. Fine. But you're like, oh no, I gotta go be the Luka heir apparent. That's a lot of pressure.
Hold on. This is what I gotta love. This is what I love about the NBA. Remember when we were just talking during the break about how things are done to cover things behind the scenes?
Yep.
How about Zion Williamson being up there? Yeah, exactly.
I thought that too.
Exactly. You see, now I brought this up to you, and you're like, "Holy kid!" Like, exactly.
He was their draft lottery representative. I found that shocking.
I thought that was crazy.
Me too.
I thought they were trying to ship him, but if you're trying to ship somebody, you're not going to put. That's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Like, I guess unless you just put him out there, be like, oh yeah,
like Zion went. Like
you
Zion
remember? Zion's out here. Huh? Anybody interest anybody in little Zion Williamson?
That was very weird.
It was very strange. But Cooper Flag was like, oh, I thought my whole thing when I saw that reaction was, oh yeah, he's like, I gotta go fill whose shoes? That's big shoes. Because here's the thing: it's one thing to do it, but it's another thing to do it when the fan base is pissed. So like I'm sure they're gonna be, and maybe that does sway the front office on like, hey, do we want to put all this pressure on this kid? Unless you think the kid's just that, like, there's no shot he misses.
However, he is staved at the fact that, AD is still there. And AD has a lot to prove and show.
AD, Kyrie.
I'm not thinking about Kyrie.
Lively.
It's
not a bad Klay Thompson. It's not a terrible roster he's going to if he could be something, but it's not like, but you're going to ask him to be Luka at, what is he, 19?
But he's also going to a locker room where you got two major individuals in AD and Kyrie. But AD's going to definitely want to be the man, the focal point of this team, because that's what the trade was for.
Which I don't think is a problem unless, like, because I don't think in your rookie year you're thinking like Supermax and all that. It's not that. I think it's just like, all right, because I bet you in his mind he's like, there's no shot I'm going to that team. 1.8%. Come on, no way.
I don't think he thought he was going there. I thought maybe he thought he was going to San Antonio because I thought that's what's going to happen. You put Cooper Flag with De'Aaron Fox and Wemby. It's like, and Castle's gonna be like, geez, this team got some talent.
We'll take a break. When we come back, our sister station 95.7 The Game in San Francisco, Joe Shasky is going to join us from the Morning Roast. We'll talk to him next.
The Panthers are
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. All right, so this brought us great entertainment. We're petty watching. Jimmy Butler and the Warriors go down 3-1 last night. Leroy texted me, which he never does. He texted me at midnight yesterday just to tell me Jimmy Butler, fewer points than Draymond Green at the time. I was like, you're watching the game right now? You're never up past 10. I was stunned. So we do our favorite thing, which is we like to grief listen. And we'll go to fire up the Odyssey app. We'll listen to other markets and see what they're up to. And we were quite entertained by the morning roast today on 95.7 The Game. Because Joe Shasky, one of their hosts, basically encapsulated what I think every Heat fan, when Jimmy Butler isn't Jimmy Buckets, it is the experience that is Jimmy Butler. He can be Jim VP, or he can absolutely annoy the hell out of you because he will go right to the rim, but he's always looking for a shooter. And then he'll give you some speech about how, like, I play the right way and no one's going to tell me how to play. I can do that and give you buckets. And so, you know, they're getting the full experience on what it is.
Don't you have to be aware, though, as a basketball player, when your team's down 20, that maybe I ought to stop facilitating and start scoring? That was my biggest complaint to him.
Let's go to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location on Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotofHollywood.com. Joe, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
What's up, boys? I'm just walking out the studio, looking at a lovely San Francisco day, listening to you guys drink my tears.
Yeah, well, listen, we're sorry. But look, in fairness, we've been drinking them for all season. So you'll excuse us if we quench our thirst a little bit on being down 3-1. But look, man, I understand. Once you guys lost Steph, we knew it was going to probably be a tough one to go and win this series. But how are you finding the Jimmy Butler experience, especially now being in the predicament you are?
Well, I mean, at least he's actually here with the team, unlike Andrew Wiggins, who we had no idea if the guy was even going to show up. Yeah, so that's,
used to that
that's
too.
Different.
That is
true. I mean, he had 1 2-month stretch where he turned into Superman, and then the guy went right back into a pumpkin. But Jimmy Butler, he's been great. He's been great, except since the injury where he landed on his butt, he hurt his butt. I don't know, his tailbone or whatever. The guy has just not been the same player. He's clearly exhausted. He's clearly 35 years old. And without Steph Curry, he was driving me crazy. I'm like, dog, shoot the ball. You're under the hoop. Shoot the ball. It was driving me absolutely insane. And he's not the only one. The Warriors just aren't good enough without Steph Curry. It is what it is. They're out here rolling out GP2. I mean, you guys saw him when he had Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Caleb Martin. Like, you guys have better shooters than what we have right now. When you don't have Steph Curry and you're relying on Buddy Hield, you're in trouble.
You're the owner, Joe Lacob, came out and he said he was worth every freaking penny after the they advanced in a really good series with the Rockets. But like, now that you're staring this down and there is no Steph, and this was kind of Pat's concern, is like, I don't know if I want to pay a guy who plays so physically as Jimmy does and misses his games because he'll get banged up like tailbone injuries. How are you feeling as far as like the future is concerned with Jimmy Butler? If this does peter out at a round 2 exit, like, will you look at this fondly, or are you a little nervous about what an older Jimmy Butler is going to be?
Well, look, the trade was great. I mean, I'll do that trade all day, every day, period, because they were 25 and 26, dead in the water. I mean, I was making an argument, man, maybe you try to, poop for Coop. I legitimately was saying that on air. I've been a Warrior fan my entire life, 5th generation San Franciscan, and I was like, this team is not good enough. And then they made the Jimmy trade, and they went on a run, and they became a completely different team. It was a great trade. Now, what do you do in the offseason? Man, everything's on the table. Giannis, KD, I'll listen to anything. I'm always looking to upgrade. It's the Yankee mentality when it comes to Joe Lacob. Like, you're good for right now, but if there's somebody better, I'll flip you for somebody better. I like Jimmy Butler, but if it costs Jimmy Butler to go get Giannis, you have to do it. Giannis is 30.
This is amazing.
I love it.
I just feel like I'm listening to San Francisco Tobin.
I like Joe's style. I do.
Like Joe.
What,
I do.
What's wrong? Bro, look. I'm a Niner fan, okay? We couldn't beat Deion Sanders. Jerry Rice would get stymied all the time. Deion became a free agent. We got Deion Sanders. We won the Super Bowl. He left. He went to the Cowboys. Like that's how sports works, dude. Like, I'm trying to win a championship every year. You have Steph Curry, one of the top 10 greatest basketball players of all time in almost anyone's list, okay? You do whatever it takes to get that individual another championship ring. And he's doing this during the LeBron era, which makes it even more special. And so, you don't know, look, he could get hurt in this particular postseason like he has, and he might not ever be the same. You just never know when it comes to these players. I watched Klay Thompson, one of the best two-way players in the last 20 years. He hurt his knee, then he hurt his Achilles, and he's a shell of himself. So while a guy is still at his apex power, you have to do everything you can to get that 5th championship. Because once this guy's gone, Steph Curry, I mean, we're in some trouble. I mean, we're going to be basically in the existence of what you guys have been in without Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I mean, we already got used to that the year after the whole Dame thing blew up. We've that didn't change. But I will tell you, Joe, if you want to use this one, walk it on, try it on for size to use him in the headline of that Giannis package. He did play at Marquette in Milwaukee, so they may love a little homecoming.
Hey, look, my niece is going to Marquette right now. Great nursing school, $40,000 a year. It's a great town, but I'll tell you this right now. Look, I don't care what Milwaukee wants. You could have everything not named Steph. I'll fill out the team with a bunch of Caleb Martins around him, and we'll figure it out. Just get me Giannis if he's available and he wants to come. But it's just I'm just so frustrated this morning. It sucks because I sound like a loser if I come out and I say, I really, truly believe we would have beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 or 6 if Steph Curry's healthy. It's just such loser talk.
Don't let anybody tell you that.
I admitted it out loud, but that's the way I feel.
Sometimes that happens. Look, sometimes Goran Dragic gets hurt 2 games in the final. Dude, don't let anybody tell you that, Joe.
Joe,
You don't back down.
I am living a dream right now.
No, I don't want him feeling. I don't want him beating himself up over that.
No,
that's a fair thing. If Steph Curry was healthy.
I'm on a whole nother. I thought you were one of one.
Nope.
But you're just one of one in Miami.
Yeah.
Do you believe in a parallel universe?
Yes,
I do.
Joe,
let me know when you want to
I
get
deal with you every day.
Joe, if the Warriors visit here, you let me know if you want to get some Cuban coffee down here, all right, dude?
Look, let me tell you guys my Shasky-ism, all right? I got a lot of butcher-isms. Here's one of my life credos. Pivot, don't panic. So whenever something bad happens, you pivot to the next take and you wiggle off the old one. And so I'm constantly pivoting, and I'm never panicking. Like I'm Jimmy Butler.
Twins!
This guy's an artsman.
Joe!
Hey, bro.
He's an
It
artsman.
ain't no one-on-one, man. Come on, man. Let's go.
Oh,
For real though, if we're being a hundo, what I'm really scared of is not only are the Warriors going to get knocked out, then we're going to do exactly what the Dolphins did and overpay for Brock Purdy and give him like $55 million a year and just completely gut the rest of the team. So right now my sports existence is a little up in the air. I'm a little ticked off right now.
All right, Joe, we got to get out of here, buddy, but thank you for the time.
Hey, tell the Michigan guy Ohio State won the national championship.
Yeah, but if you want to be the champs, you got to beat the champs, and we beat them back-to-back years. So the way I look at it, we're back-to-back champs, baby.
4 times.
Hey, suspend your coach for 2 quarters against Turkey Tech University. That's a great way of sending the discipline. I mean, my God. Hey, as a Frisco native, I'm throwing up the U's because you guys got the sickest freaking mascot of all time. Always been a U fan. I love it. Keep it going. Boys, have me on anytime.
All right, see you. There you go. Joe Shasky from the Morning Roast.
No.
That was crazy.
Yes.
I love him.
Yes.
He's great.
The greatest day of my life.
That was good.
Because you find out there's more than one
There's
Tobin.
more you.
Yeah.
This guy's San Francisco Tobin.
Could you imagine?
Or
you two
you're
doing
Miami Joe.
Could you imagine doing a show together?
Oh my God.
Shasky and Leroy.
No.
Shasky? I think we just.
I would just replace that A with an I. Can I just tell you? He came in hot.
Oh, he was on fire.
I'm like, no, there's one of you everywhere. Oh, so who? Wait.
He had Tobinisms.
Where Where am I on that show?
I don't know.
Oh no, you can't be on that show.
No,
Leroy, you can't be on that show.
No,
you would have a heart attack. You would die first
I
2
would
days.
want to fight both of you
Exactly.
all the time. Don't panic, pivot.
I like it. Which is
that's
exactly what my
that's
point
the
was.
California version of it's something or
that,
nothing.
That was exactly my point with the whole Heat fans being babies. And look at that. Like he's not even he doesn't even have, there's no shot they're gonna get Giannis, but he's already got it in his mind that they're gonna get Giannis. And I respect that from the Shash man.
Because the same thing with you. There's no shot the Heat gonna get Giannis.
It doesn't matter though.
But here's the thing. He got mad at he gets mad at Jimmy Butler for pump fake, pivot. But that's what he does. You do the same thing.
But he's had Jimmy for 6 years, so he understands. Tobin had Jimmy for 6 years. This is like the first 4 months with Jimmy. They don't understand.
Yeah, and he's already hot.
Yeah.
And he's already ready to move.
I got a feeling that San Francisco is going to realize that's not exactly the most advantageous contract to move.
RVA Richie hit it. Panic or pivot is the equivalent of rats off your ship.
Agreed.
Oh my good. I just hearing that interaction and seeing the twinkle in Tobin's eyes.
Yeah.
Like it. Wow.
Dade South says it was the Spider-Man meme.
It was literally, which is what, by the way, another Spider-Man meme, the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Yep.
Pacers win 2 in a row. Knicks win 2 in a row. Pacers get their ass kicked in game 3. Knicks get their ass kicked in game 3. Pacers win big game 4. Knicks win big game 4. And also, Donovan Mitchell gets injured in game 4. Jason Tatum gets injured in game 4.
We are in a parallel universe.
We are in a parallel universe,
Which
ladies
is
and gentlemen.
With a fixed lottery.
Today has been awesome.
It has been.
I could replay. I'm waiting for somebody to mix that pivot, pump fake.
Now they gotta mix it with Tobinisms. We could have a song with Tobinisms and
Shasky.
He was really he's really scared about paying Brock Purdy, huh?
Man, same way Dolphin fans were scared of paying Tua.
But why? You didn't win without him.
Yeah, but you don't win without the pieces.
here's the deal though. Every quarterback in San Fran ends up getting hurt. I don't know why. And that same offense is down here. So, what do we make of that?
I don't know what to make of it, but what I do know is it is the end of the show. We appreciate everybody for stopping by today. Vlad, thank you for stepping in for Marcos with his baby tadpole.
No problem, man.
And Jennifer, I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
And all the best to everybody out there. Remember, what did he say?
Can we leave him with that one?
What was the term he said? Pivot. Don't panic.
Pivot. Don't panic.
Pivot. Don't panic, everybody. We'll talk to you rascals tomorrow.
If I watch Jimmy or Pods dribble into the key, jump stop, pump fake, pivot, and try to shoot the ball. You're in the key. Shoot the ball.
2-1 filthy.